Yeah, let me get my idea.
Strangely enough, your audio is actually really good.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
but
really
I
good.
think it still gets a little better with this.
I got to know about
How's
that.
that?
Yeah, it's way better. Yeah,
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 way
yeah,
better. Hi.
yeah.
Oh, Ludmila, Daniel, look at
She's
you.
first.
Ludmila, she's first. Your sister's
Yeah,
first in the chat.
yeah, she was. She was waiting to wish you a happy birthday. She was like, "Make sure you wish
Mm.
Dean a happy birthday from me." I was like, "Absolutely." Welcome everybody. Welcome. It's a very special Valentine's Day edition of Coffee and Tea with Lev and Dean. Not only is it Coffee and Tea with Lev and Dean, it's Valentine's Day. It's Saturday. Also, Dean's birthday a couple of days ago. So definitely we could all shout out
And
happy
your birthday a
birthday.
couple days ago, too. We're a couple
Yeah,
birthday babies. We share a
come-
birthday week. It's fucking
yeah,
crazy that we get
it's
along this
crazy.
well. The
Crazy.
stars have fucking told us Aquarians are it this year, by the way.
They're
Just so you
lining,
know.
they're lining. And to all of
Yeah.
you who's sharing their birthday or today have are getting ready to go out with their loved ones, their special other, their friends, or planning to stay at home and just love yourself or be there. We're here. That's why we decided to do it because on this Valentine's, the one thing I want to start off with, and we're going to end with, as Bad Bunny said, love conquers hate, and we all are Americans. So today, let's use that motto. Let's use that. And we have a special guest, my sister Ludmila. At the end of the show, is going to give us a little positive energy. She definitely wants to come up and say, especially to you, any of you that are going to want to come up today, more of a loose day. We're gonna try and make it very easy. I know some of the stuff is a lot very hard to gonna listen to because we definitely want to get you up to speed. It's been an incredible week. A lot of incredible stuff happened. A lot of things are going on behind the scenes. The media is a little bit off the rails right now. There's a division going on
To
in
put
all
it
kinds of
nicely,
places. Yeah,
the media is off the fucking rails right now.
yeah,
Division's
yeah.
lively. Listen, and you know what? The thing about this podcast today, the thing about this Substack Live is we're going to breathe love into hate. The only way that you get
Happy
rid of
birthday,
hate, and
Kathy. Yeah.
the only way you get rid of fear, and then we're a fearful group of people right now, and you don't need to be afraid. And you don't need to be afraid because people like Lev have the goods. People like us will stand in front of you, and you come with us, and we go shoulder to shoulder in this conversation. But this is about Valentine's Day. We're going to love people so hard today, including Michael Cohen. We're going to love him very hard today. We're going to try and bring him over in love. We're going to love you. We're going to love the Epstein
I don't
victims.
know. I don't know.
Well,
Okay.
you know what I
Uh,
mean.
I think Dean had maybe a little bit something in his coffee today
No, not yet.
because we're not gonna love anybody that's trying to protect Donald Trump or this stuff. And we will talk a little bit because again it's part of the news. It's part of, so it's not, we're not gonna spend a lot of time, and we're not it's this is not gonna be Michael Cohen show, but where he is part of the news. We will discuss it because that matters. Hey, Nick. Nick said he has nothing in his coffee yet. Nick, if you want to come up. By the way, folks, let's do this. Lev's Army, Bill. If you could do me a favor, while we're talking, if you could take down like questions and notes, Waldy, because for the way the algorithm works, me and Dean sometimes are missing. We can't really did. So if you and some other volunteers could take down, if you could see who's asking questions, take down the pertinent questions, and also take down who wants to come up. And then if you could have either Jay or yourself DM me or text me in the next 30, 40 minutes within the hour, because for the second part of the show, as we get going, we want to be able to make sure that we bring a lot of you up. Today's Valentine's Day. We want to make sure
Yeah.
it's a special day, and we want to, because the last couple of coffees and teas with Lev and Dean, we've had a lot of breaking news. We had a lot of controversy, a lot of stuff. So we haven't had the chance to be able to give back to you guys a little bit, and especially the paid subscribers. So let's have an incredible day. Let's start off the day right. This is the Wolfpack, by the way. For those of you I see the Wolfpack, we have the shirts ready. Go to Lev. Remember, me and Dean were just talking about
Yeah.
if you really want to give your loved one or your loved other or your friend or you make a present to yourself. I recommend go on because they're limited time edition. I don't know how quickly they're gonna sell out, how quickly we're gonna get more on there. But we have the Wolfpack shirts up there. I'll show you what they look like. Hold on a
Yeah,
second.
do we have the names of the Wolfpack on the back, kind of like tour stops and the Substack
Uh,
accounts? I
oh
mean,
no, we
Michael
will.
Cohen has
We,
strangely stumbled into some sadness for us. We
I
are
like this one.
taking
I like
his
this one. The
truth
Wolfpack,
has
truth has
teeth.
teeth. Yeah, and this one is, we stand together. You know,
I love it.
yeah, don't mess with the
I
wolf
love
pack.
it.
We're
I
coming for
love
you.
it.
I mean,
Yeah.
and this is thanks to our volunteers for the artwork. But we're gonna get more stuff up there. Like you said, yes, we're gonna use that. And part of what we decided is we're gonna take their negativity and what they're gonna and use it against them. So we're gonna use
Hmm.
these wolf pack and use it as a movement of truth, a movement of stop. Like we said, truth has teeth, and we're gonna figure out how we take and donate the money from all of this stuff to either Ukraine, the survivors, or some stuff. So we're gonna get all of that in order, and we're gonna get a lot more different designs. And the Wolf Pack is only getting started. Fat. So you are the first members of the Wolf Pack. Get your, there will be more designs, more stuff. These are the first. These will be the original, the OG Wolf Pack. So make sure you get them. And again, this is not against Michael Cohen. This is against every single pedophile protector. This is against every single Epstein protector. This is about every single Donald Trump protector. This is about the truth. The wolf pack is made out of people that are made out of different races, different parts of the world, different beliefs. Trust me, I tell you, we in the wolf pack do not agree on policy on everything. We do not agree on everything the way this world works. But one thing we do agree upon is we agree upon truth, we agree upon our saving our democracy, and we agree upon exposing all of these people that are trying to, continuously hurt the survivors. And that's what the Wolf Pack is about. So thank you, Michael Cohen, for helping us start a movement that is going to go out there. So, and I want to make it clear, this is about not Michael Cohen. This is about democracy. So grab him, go to loveremembers.com, grab them while they there. We're gonna get more. We're gonna get more designs. We're gonna, figure out how disperse all the stuff, the money and everything. But in the meantime, start getting him because while this is all getting put together. So once you mentioned it, I wanted to say that, Dean.
No, I'm really glad you did. And it's funny because when Cohen, and again, this is not going to be at all about Michael Cohen. We're having coffee and tea with you today. Get your questions in. If you're a paid sub, send us, DM us. We'll read your questions. We'll bring you up live here as well. We've got a couple of guests we're going to spin through today, which could include you. We do this for you. You drive this. But the incredible thing about the Wolfpack shit is how Cohen meant it as a pejorative. And then we started seeing hundreds, maybe thousands of people going, go with it, right? And so I did a little digging, being Canadian, right? The Arctic wolf, being Canadian from this beautiful country. I did a little digging on the species itself. And if I don't know if anybody knows this, wolves are actually obviously incredibly territorial, and they will rip your throat out, but only to protect the wolf pack, only to protect the less fortunate, specifically the smaller wolves, the baby wolves, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So when we talk about literally taking over that pejorative and turning it into a positive, it plays, and it doesn't just play because, oh, it's cool, like, wolves, and the alpha wolf, he takes care of the wolf pack, protects all the other less fortunate wolves, he gives his privileges strength to the entire pack, and he sits at the back of the pack, by the way, making sure the pack can move forward together in confidence, knowing that someone's got their six. And that's what this is all about, and it's funny because I watched I read into the genus of wolves, Arctic wolves, Canadian wolves, yesterday, gray wolves, and it shocked me because, like, Cohen nailed it, unbeknownst to him, right? Like, he's like, "Oh, I'm being canceled by the Wolfpack." It's like, you kind of are, just because we continue to tell the truth and stick up for victims and protect those that need the privilege and the gas and the juice that comes with the name of Lev Parnas, that comes with a big following here on Substack, where we can get that into the fore. We can absolutely advocate for and protect people who truly fucking need it right now. So, to your point, yes to more designs, yes to going and buying these, and yes to donating all the proceeds to things that matter, where we can take the proceeds and go and protect other people that need that protection,
Yeah,
whether it's
and
the people of Ukraine, whether it's the survivors or the victims. It all works. I don't know if Cohen knows this. He's a fucking marketing genius.
Yeah, so thank you, Michael Cohen, as far as that. But yeah, we're gonna stop. But there's so much to go over, folks. So first of all, keep sending your questions. We have Bill's Army. Lev's Army is one of our great volunteers here. Ellie, Ellie's up. Ellie, good morning, Ellie. If Ellie, if you want to come up, just text me. Let me know. You are the original OG Wolfpack. So if you want to come up and say Happy Valentine's, we'll bring you up. If you're busy and just listening,
She's the mama bear
uh,
of the wolf pack, right? She's the mama wolf.
she's the mama wolf. Yeah, she's the mama bear. We got her. We got also Tara Palmieri in the wolf pack. We have Kate Justice. We what she say? She's in her
She's in her
pajamas.
pajamas cleaning her house right
All right,
now.
all right.
Which is crazy because I'm in my kitchen, just made a split pea and ham soup, and that led us down the soup path because we
By the
both
way,
like soup.
I
We're
just
just
want to say
regular
that.
cats.
Can
We
you
just
please
do it.
show? I just want to show you. Can Dean? I didn't know that, but I love pea split pea soup. My mom used to
Mm.
make it. May she rest in peace. And I always hard for me to get some really good split pea soup. I mean, also Dean's telling me I am making. That's a Canadian thing. I was like, are you kidding me? Come on, Dean, show it. So Dean, show us. This is. Oh yeah, look at
She's
that.
brewing, kid. She's brewing right now.
Oh,
I'm going to have to give it a
oh,
stir in about an hour, but that is Canadian made split pea and ham soup with candied ham. Candied ham, that's the key. A little
oof,
paprika, some bay
oof.
leaves. Look out. We got the roux in there. We got the carrots. We got the onions. We got the celery. We got it all, dude. Yes. That's why we connect. We both love soup. We're soupy people. What people don't realize, Canada was founded on soup by Ukrainian and Eastern European refugees who settled
It's
this
crazy,
country.
right? There's
Yeah, it's all peasant food here.
so
Yeah.
much history that ties a lot of the stuff together, and that's one of the things
Hmm.
that Trump and his administration they try to erase all of that history. It's crazy. By the way, hey Nick, you want to come up and join us a little? Let's bring Nick up a little bit.
Nick Paro?
Nick Paro. Yeah, Nick Paro is one of our also Wolf Pack here, folks. And somebody does incredible work. Because we're going to talk about news all through the day. We're going to do it different today. We're going to start bringing you up in the beginning, and we'll just go through the talking and the asking, and let's just have a good time today. Let's try to have a positive, good energy. Go through the stuff, get informed. What somebody
And
texted
let's
me.
talk about some of these fucking wins too. I mean, like, today is a good day. We have
Yeah,
literally Donald Trump
yeah,
on the
yeah.
run. Elon Musk came
Oh,
out of
yeah,
hiding yesterday. He looks like shit,
yeah,
by the way.
yeah,
The entire
yeah.
ecosystem is on the run. And then today I found out that Stephen Harper accepted $1 million from Jeffrey Epstein. So, not only is this in Stephen Harper's company, not him personally, he's the former prime minister of this country. We're going to talk obviously about the fallout and the Schadenfreude and the butterfly effect, but I think it's worth saying yesterday, decamping the whole thing with ICE, Tom Homan saying we're leaving, can't stay, watching people like, Cohen implode again yesterday, which you covered so incredibly well, watching, the United States on the world stage in Munich completely implode, watching the EU say, we've got like 28 investigations into you and Epstein. We don't trust you anymore. We're going to go our own way. Watching Canada and Denmark do this historic security deal to protect Greenland and to get a little closer outside of NATO. And then, of course, the deluge of what's going on with the Epstein files and Donald Trump, who continually runs away from any accountability. And on top of that, dude, like we have like international criminals that were involved in the Epstein files, whether it's the former prime minister of Norway who's going to get arrested. And then
This
we
is
got Lord, like seriously,
But
honestly,
but
go
this is
ahead. Yeah.
yeah, but that's the crazy part. This is the interesting part. And I want to talk a little bit about this, and I'm glad you started this because just think about it, folks. We're getting accountability, and welcome, Nick. Good
Hey,
morning,
good
good
morning.
afternoon. Yeah, I like the beer. There you go. My lawyer Joe Bondi would love you, man. He has a beard. When we went to trial, like he had this white beard, like he
Gotta
combed
make it look
it.
good though,
Yeah, you
too.
got
It's gotta look good.
Yeah.
I
respect.
even cleaned up
Bring
the
the
sides a little bit this
I
week. It's
see
been a
that. I
while. I
see
Bring the
haven't
that. I
getting
see
beardos
big.
that.
back. Bring
I
the
see that.
beardos
I
back.
see
I
that.
fucking love a
Hell
good
yeah.
beard. I can't do this,
I
but
can't
this
do
is
it. I
all
And
I
can't
can
do
mine's
it.
do.
nice because it
Yeah, you
doesn't
too.
connect.
I
Mine
can't do
doesn't
it.
connect to my like chest hair like some people
Yeah,
do.
Yeah.
I know a
yeah.
couple Jewish Jewish men
Yeah.
like me, who their hair just goes from head to foot.
Right.
And
You got that. I mean,
mine,
I
I'm
tell you.
lucky. I got that French Canadian in me that helped me stop it. I got that like
Yeah.
perfect little line on the bottom.
No.
And you were talking about split pea soup, Dean.
Yeah.
Is it Hammond? Does it have ham hock in it?
Oh, dude, it not only has ham hock in it, it has some of the best candied spiral ham chunks you will ever have in your
Ooh.
life. It's going to soften a little bit later. I'm going to give it a
Mm.
stir.
Well,
If you
being
guys
from
are here, I'd
Vermont,
feed
Stop. You're
you.
making, I'm getting
being from
hungry right
Vermont, I know a good split pea soup. My dad does a really good split pea and ham
now.
hock soup. He does it with like
So,
a maple cured ham, and it's
Oh my
mm-hmm,
just
god.
mm-hmm.
You guys are killing me. Look at you two. Ah, I'm getting hungry right now.
here for you, Lev.
Yeah,
Here for
yeah.
you,
You know
brother.
what? You know what? Next week, maybe we'll have breakfast, and all of us could join and have their breakfast. I'm curious to
Coffee
see
and
what happens.
breakfast with
Lev and Dean,
Lev,
why
Dean,
not?
and
Well, I'll
Nick.
take. Hey, you know what? I could cook some mean breakfast, so I could take you into the kitchen maybe next week and show you how what I do for the kids. Sometimes I make
Now
these
that'd be a fun
little
show.
some eggs, and the way of the egg, I make this little hot dogs. I splice them
Ooh.
open, and then I cook them over, and then I put some like open them up, and then I put the egg in the middle. So and then I put the hot dog like this. So there's an egg in the middle and the hot dog. I mean, it's incredible. I'll show you.
Any
I'll show it
cheese? You
to you.
put any cheese on that bad
Oh,
boy? A little big.
of course, you scribble
Oh,
a lot of cheese. Yeah, of course, you scribble. Yeah,
Always.
that's a
Cheese
little
is
cheese.
good on
Yeah,
almost
yeah,
everything.
definitely.
I'm
Yeah,
doing, if it makes you feel better, I'm doing spam fried rice for dinner. I have this really, really good recipe that I found from a Korean woman online. And I've just taken it over the top. It's got like sake in the sauce. It's sticky. I'll put it on my I'll put it on my flat top and I'll fry it up, and it's gonna be
real
so
men
uh,
cook. Real
I
men
real
have
men
cook.
cook.
yeah,
House
and
dad
I
right here. I'm house
yeah,
dad. I've got the
yeah,
kids. My wife
me
is
too.
working today. I've got my
Yeah,
niece and my kids.
yeah.
I just wanted to celebrate too, because yesterday Arkansas had a high schooler walkout. Um, and one of my friend's daughters participated, and I ended up driving her home yesterday so she didn't get suspended from school, because they would have suspended the kids if they had walked back into the school after the walkout. She was telling me about it, how she was sharing her signs. She showed me all the amazing things she did. Her voice was all broken because they were screaming and chanting the whole
Wow,
time. They
wow.
talked about how some asshole revved their engine at them while they were crossing the street to make it look like he wanted to go run them over. Kids, high schoolers. He wanted to run
Wow.
over high schoolers. She got into my car and she was so proud of what she had done. And the pride was all over her. She was like,
Wow.
it was just coming out of her, and how joyful she was from this experience. And I told her how proud I was of her for doing those types of things, and that she needs to feel pride and continue to feel pride in herself, and to not let anyone, especially a parent, take away that pride. And if there's someone in her
Uh,
life that is going to try and take that away, that she stands with it and remembers that that's her power, and go hang those protest signs on her wall
yeah.
like she wanted to.
That's a
Like, that's
that's a
what we
proud
need.
that's a proud dad moment. That's what I was gonna say. Like, that's what, we need to teach our kids, because I think a lot of it, our kids are getting, influenced by social media, and that's a comment, and they're getting all of this disruption. And we need more parents. We need more out there supporting our kids. And I've learned a lot also. I grew up in a generation, I grew up without a father. I grew up looking up to, my just so you understand, my interpretation about raising a family was between the Brady Bunch and the Godfather. So
That's
that was
not a good range.
right. No,
I've
but
seen those
I mean,
shows.
right. But that's that's what I grew up to. I grew up to the life around the Godfather. Loyalty, your kids follow in your footsteps, do whatever you. And then, but I also grew up watching the Brady Bunch and having that empathy. I think that's what saved me in life, is because
The
I
Brady
had
Bunch.
the Brady Bunch. Yeah, because I'll tell you, because growing up an immigrant, not
Mm.
having a parent, and I looked up to that and dreamed of having that family. I dreamed of having the kids. I didn't look as about the divorce or I didn't see that. I didn't didn't look at it in that way. I looked as a young child without a father, and somebody that was an immigrant and didn't have that American family, that, breakfast in the morning with the brothers and sisters and the holidays, and I my sister was older than me, and she was already on her own, so kind of it was that, but then around me was really the Godfather. My life was around all of these people that grow up about, secrecy, loyalty, bringing her. So it was, a kind of incredible shift, because since we're talking about kids, with my young kids, like Aaron, Daniel, Milana, I was more of a father in my brain, and thank God to my wife Svetlana that she was there, God bless her, because I thought that money, as long as you have money and power, you could buy the Brady Bunch life. That is like, you don't have to be there. You have you know
Mm,
as long as you could give it to them, the cars, the money, that this. And in reality, that's not there, because what after prison, after my rehabilitation, after getting back and getting rid of that life. And that's why when I say real mea culpa means where you gotta cut off all the ties, where you don't go back to that old life, those old friends, those old, what's it called. And I've been able to really now, with I got three younger now kids that I got, and it's an incredible experience, because now I'm able to be that father, like you said, Nick, to give them more advice, and even to now my older kids, and build those relationships and stuff like that. So that I really appreciate that story, and because I think it's so important, and I think it's so important for all of us as parents to be able to realize that being there, it's giving them advice, and being there in that moments, because so many times they're like, "Hey dad, hey mom, I need to ask you that," and we're so busy, we're like, "Yeah, I'll be right there," or "Yeah, I'll get to," or like,
give
just
me a
just
minute.
go, give me a minute," and we don't go back, and we
Yep.
don't give
Mm,
them that time. And then you know what they do? They go on the internet, and then they
Hmm.
and they start looking, and then you know what happens. And I've learned this through my life. Time goes by so quickly. They grow up, and then you look at them, and you don't realize they're not the same kids already. They're already getting
mm,
grown-ups, and now you've missed that point. You missed that moment of being able to connect and get, and it's very hard to get that back. Extremely
mm.
hard. So I advise to everybody out there: take those moments. They're the most precious moments, and they're the most important moments to be able to connect. And those are the moments where you really allow your generation kids, and for them to know, to, because they remember it, believe me. And like, again, so a little bit, advice out there from my
You
own
This
know,
this
if
makes
if
me
perspective.
I can,
yeah.
Lev, and I know Nick is no stranger to these conversations about what it's like to be a man. Specifically in 2026, post-truth society, where you're told that external gratification is the way that you're going to achieve life, and if you only can get these things, you're going to be a happier person. If you only provide this kind of living and live in this house and these many garages, these many cars, this remittance for your T4 IRS slip. You got to make this much money. You need to be in these conversations. We're taught as men, have been for a very long time, that external gratification is the key to life, and that your kids will raise themselves if you make enough money. That is not true. That couldn't be farther from the fucking truth. If you
The
want a really
farthest.
great example of broken men being raised by broken people that didn't have time for their kids. MAGA is that fucking example. The men of MAGA who are so angry at their parents for not spending any time with them. You're so angry at everybody. They don't have conflict resolution skills. They have major issues. They live in this fucking, societal moment, this conspiratorial lifestyle, that everything that has happened to them belongs to somebody else, and it's not their responsibility. And that comes from being taught, right? That's nurtured over
Yeah,
time. And
yeah.
and and I, like you, had kids very young, and three kids, we all did, and we wasted opportunities younger trying to chase dreams and trying to satisfy the external gratifiers that we are told will make us happy people, successful people. And I can tell you this: I have made all the money, and I've made none of the money. And I am the happiest I have ever been because I am not
Yeah.
chasing those external
Yeah.
gratifiers anymore.
That's right.
I'm the
That's right.
happiest I've ever been. My son, who just walked in, he's making himself some avocado toast and an egg, is the happiest he's
That's
ever
my
been
Darn
in life.
breakfast. By the way,
millennials.
that's
Yeah.
my
Darn
breakfast. I
millennials
love.
taking the avocado toast.
I love. They've taught me. My kids taught me. That's what I eat: avocado toast, some eggs,
Yeah,
and
yeah. He's
some
Oh,
got it.
put
salmon and
some
olive oil.
put
Olive
some
oil.
everything bagel seasoning on top of it.
Oh yeah, yeah. No
It's
mayo. Hey, you gotta be healthy. No mayo. No mayo. You gotta be healthy. At our age
You can get
already, you
light
gotta be.
mayo. You
No,
get
no.
light
You get
mayo.
Yeah, you
no.
can
You
put it
do.
in the trash. Light mayo
Yeah,
is good
no.
in the trash, just like
Yeah,
heavy
no. But
mayo.
olive oil. You get some avocado, olive oil,
Yeah. All
tomato,
right.
and
All
get
right.
some salmon, and a little
Yeah.
Mm,
egg. Mm.
Smoke
a little
a
bit of
little egg,
lox
some
on that.
lox.
Yeah,
Yeah, and then a toast,
absolutely.
some toast on
Ah.
the side. Oh yeah.
Hmm.
But
Now
but
you're
but
making
but
me hungry too.
Yeah, well, good. I should, and he's making it right now. But you just touched on a really serious opportunity and a real big point. Is that you're going to see at the end of this magnification and the enshittification of men being told that they're all fucking victims. That's Charlie Kirk's whole bag, dude. That is
Hmm.
the entire TPS USA movement. It's your parents suck, your life sucks. Only thing that
Yeah.
matters is your relationship with yourself, and go and get it and be as selfish as you can. Listen, that is the fastest way to soul death. The fastest way to soul death. I've lived it. Lev has lived it. Guy was in the fucking White House chasing his fucking dream. He got everything, all the juice, all the grease,
Yeah.
all the money, and everything. What happened? He fucking went to jail. He was in solitary confinement. And he has spent the last several years rebuilding his life in the image of what he wants. And what he wants is the same thing. And you and I, Lev, have had many conversations about this. The philosophy of being a man in 2026. And you know what it is? It's raising your kids to be empathetic, loving people. It's teaching them wisdom, temperance, justice, and grace. It is doing the right thing when nobody else is looking, because that is what your children will learn from. Your children will learn their value set from watching you repeat your value set. And it is a fucking immutable science, a sociological fucking fact. It is evolutionary psychology that when you see broken people, they watch broken behavior from other people and it worked for them. And when you look at what Donald Trump represents, and he has this fucking alpha fucking thing, right? He's got a big alpha. He's like, look at me. I've got the fucking meme of me in a fucking outfit looking like a soldier. That is nothing but weakness from a broken man who was broken by generations of being broken men by
Yes.
other broken individuals. And
Yes.
when you look at his coked out fucking children and you look at how much they have, they will fall just like he falls. These are broken individuals. We live in a society right now, and I mean this from the bottom of my heart, where men are at a fucking crossroads. Not white men. Men are at a crossroads because you see these powerful men. Women are at a crossroads too, to another extent, where you see these powerful people and they got what they wanted. They're in charge of it all. What you're not going to see is the other side of that. Every one of those people lives that shame. They're all fucking duplicitous
Mm.
assholes, and they don't have any conflict resolution skills, and they don't give a fuck about the republic, and they don't give a fuck about neighborhood, community, or family. And how
And
do I know that? Because we're having a fucking sociological conversation that is rooted in logotherapy and everything that is important to being an individual today, that is completely fucking aside from what's going on in this world, that's able to make a difference because you do it based on what is good for your neighbors, for your family, because inherently that's good for you too. We're not being led by men, we're being led by cucks, broken children like Pete Hegseth and Christy Nome and
yeah,
Donald
that's
Trump.
Tentakles
right.
and
Yeah.
taints.
We are
And
being
yeah,
led by broken,
good
sad
people by
individuals.
broken souls. And just to add to it, because you just said that so brilliantly and so masterfully, Dean, but to add to it is not only how we treat our kids as men, and one of the things that MAGA represents and they all represent is how you treat women, how you treat
Mm.
your wives, how you treat your spouses, how you treat women reporters, women equals, women in the business, women, and how they treat. And that's another way, because the way you treat your wife is how your kids are going to treat their wives. is the way their kids are gonna respect their, and if you take a look at being inside MAGA world, and I almost lost my family over it. For those of you that saw my documentary, you do- you they go you're taught to go through a system where the man is right, the woman's there to bear kids, to cook in the household, and to listen and follow to type of what you're saying, back in that Stone Age type of deal. And I did not grow up in that family. I grew up around actually all women. My father passed away. I grew up, my mother, my grandmother, my sister raised me. So I grew up in a totally different environment, not understanding. So I was so brainwashed to a point that I would come into my house and at dinner, after traveling for a week with Trump, doing my shadow diplomacy with Trump, I'd come home and not realize it even, but I was already at such a point where I wouldn't allow my wife to watch Rachel Maddow or watch CS. Are you crazy? Turn that shit
Yeah.
off right now. I wouldn't allow Aaron or the kids to talk about, bring up some kind of, I couldn't see the transformation. I didn't see it, you can't see it in yourself. That's why being in a cult, being a drug, I talk about it very importantly. And we're going to have to actually this week, I'm going to have the cult master, Dr. What's his name?
Stephen
Stephen
Hassan.
Hassan.
Stephen Hassan. Thank you so much, guys. I'm going to have him on because I'm going to talk about the cult of Michael Cohen and what he's trying to put together with Donald Trump and everything, because I think it's extremely important. A lot of stuff
He's a
that's
fucking
happening right
great
now.
example of what we're talking about right now.
Yeah.
Exactly.
He was from the
But I
Moonies.
don't, exactly.
Like
And he's
big, big cult.
big time. Yeah. And he's going to talk about, but without steering away. So, yeah. So I definitely, it's, we as men need to be leaders, but also we have some incredible women. We're going to bring up also leaders today. We have Ellie, we have Kay Justice here, and we're going to bring up, so let's do this because time runs. While we have
Bef-
Nick here, I want to give Nick a few minutes to go over some of the stuff he wants to talk about. Also, Nick, the way we'll do the segment, guys. So our team behind are getting your questions. So Nick, we have some. While Nick is here, we're going to ask some questions from you
Oh,
guys.
sweet.
While and then Nick will go down and we'll bring Kate or Ellie up, and then we'll do it like this, and then we'll bring you up. So this way, everybody gets a chance to participate today. All right.
And
So go ahead, Nick.
I
Tell
haven't
us a
gotten to
little bit.
meet Kate Justice yet, but I wanted to shout out one of the comments she made earlier in the chat, which is presence over presence, which is you being there over you gifting things, because your kids, your wife, your spouse, your partner, your friends will remember you, the person, more than they will the gifts that you give them. And I love that we brought up all this intelligent masculinity stuff, because Dean, Lev, I'm gonna send out messages to y'all later, get you guys scheduled up for my intelligent masculinity series, because I want to hear your stories, because I think your stories will add layers of intelligence and growth and learning to them. And I've had some incredible stories with folks. I've got to get Zev rescheduled up. But the one thing I've learned out of all this, and this is where like MAGA figured this out a while ago, or the right figured this out a long time ago, was politics is downstream from culture. And one of the things they tapped into was fragile masculinity culture, and that weakness and that ability to fork over accountability onto others. So our goal, my goal with Sick of This Shit publications and the work that I'm doing there, is redefining that, is defining what intelligent masculinity is, and getting men on who can talk about
Making
their
it okay.
failures,
Yeah.
making it okay, and giving you a definition that's easy for folks to remember and take home, which is it is the refusal to outsource accountability onto others, and the discipline to live with the consequences of your values and actions. And that's it.
So basically, the exact opposite of Donald Trump and MAGA is what you're saying.
Yes.
The
Everything
victim
that they're doing
industry.
is wrong. If you want an example of what wrong looks like, watch Stephen Miller. Watch Stephen Miller or Pete Hegseth. They're the definition of wrong. If you want right, see what Lev is doing. See the growth that Lev has had. Like that is the definition of right.
Yes. And you know what the thing about it is that Lev had to leave behind all the shit, right? Integrity fucking matters. Like there's a great example here that feeds into the conversation, where you look at a guy like Michael Cohen, who, spent the last couple of days telling everybody he's never seen anything untoward, and trying to, like, keep an avenue open into those old relationships. Lev's burned them all, like every single one of them. And to that point, I have a more recent example. So I work with some people that know some people who are in the Epstein files, personally in the Epstein files. I know one gentleman who also was in the Epstein files here in Canada. And I wrote a piece on it this last week, which is like zero tolerance. I don't care who you are, where you're from. And this gentleman who's in the Epstein files is someone who is attached to other relationships that I still hold to be important. And so I'm on the phone with my friends at the Save America movement, Steve Schmidt to be exact, and Lisa, who is the kind of the controller. And we were talking about this piece. And I'm like, I'm going to write this piece, but I need your help writing it because I don't want to get ahead of myself and I want to make sure I'm responsible. But I'm also, I'm now faced with that task that so many people like Cohen, like Lev have been faced with over time, which is if you cross this Rubicon, there's no fucking going back. And you know what Schmidt said to me on the call? He goes, "Well, do you have any fucking integrity?" Like it was that simple. It was that easy. Do you have any integrity to stand for the right thing, say goodbye to those relationships, which a guy like Steve Schmidt had to do when he pieced out for the GOP party? And these were
Yeah.
relationships that had him in the fucking White House, for God's sakes. And and it dawned on me at that point that that's the difference between MAGA and other men is people like Lev, people like Steve, people like myself, people like and I hold myself in a much lower standard than Lev and Steve's of the world. These
No,
are
no, we're all the same together.
no, but you have to fucking circumcise some relationships from your life because of that integrity when it comes to the Epstein files. When it comes to doing the content that we know to be true and fair, that is going to help discourse and help the Republic and help young men understand that you're not fucking victims. You're the authors. You're the authors of your fucking freedom. You're the authors of your karma and consequence as well, which is something that MAGA isn't, right? And so when you end those relationships to a guy like Lev, who literally spent 40 years, like 40 years, you talk about extricating yourself from something that you love or something that you know. I don't think people understand. It's like a cult. It is a cult. For anybody that's left a cult or left a religion,
Yeah.
this is no fucking different, Lev. I mean, you've experienced that.
Mm.
How many relationships did you have to go, no, I cannot be your friend anymore? We're watching a very public one with Cohen, but my God, it's an uncomfortable equation when you have to say, I need to stand on my fucking business now, and I got to kiss goodbye everything I've ever known to be true or was true, right?
No, yeah, no, I appreciate that, Dee, but yeah, no, it's people don't understand how difficult it is. I mean, you really have to just really understand you being a whistleblower or being somebody that goes through a true mea culpa or somebody that has to leave behind when you're leaving behind a world of friends, acquaintances, associates. You have to leave all of it behind because when you if you it's like stop drinking or stop taking drugs. You can't say, "Well, I'm gonna do once in a while," or "I'm gonna do some drugs once in a while." You can't. As you got cult. You got to either stop or you can't. It's the same thing here. Like either you're out of the cult, and that's why some of those things that started catching my eye with Michael Cohen to they even brought it to that was the little things that he kept saying, and he even mentioned it on the podcast that he did with PBD yesterday, literally saying that, oh, Steve Witkoff, yeah, if I see Steve Witkoff, I'll give him a hug. Howard Lutnick, I just saw him right after Trump got inaugurated. He gave me a kiss. Our kids are in the same school. We go to lunch together. I'm sorry. I mean, this is that it boggled my brain. I couldn't understand what he was saying to you because it's the same thing as me saying when I went to the to the hearings for the survivors when Pam Bondi was walking down the hall and I was standing in front of her. I should have given her a hug. I should have said, "Hey, Pam, how are you?" Instead, no, I
Long
stood
time no
there.
see.
Right. Instead, I looked her in the eye and I stared her down for her to bow down and turn away. And everybody that was there, the media, they saw it. And it was an incredible feeling because as she was walking, I stared her down. She saw me and she looked the other way and she walked into that hearing.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm saying to you, you have to make a full, and that's why I think with Michael, it's not just about, I think it's a lot of things, but the one thing that is he also misses that world. That's his
Mm,
world. He never said goodbye to that world. He still lives, in the city. He still lives in the world where all of these people are associated. And I think it's getting to him because he's watching all of these people that he's known over all these years making all this money right now, having all this access, having all this power, while he has to be on Substack asking for $8 subscriptions, and trying to make it there. And I think it's getting to him. I think at the end of the day, it's not even, pardon. I think he just wants to be able, because remember, I know a lot of you, and I'm not saying it in a bad way, because I understand Michael Cohen. He needs help, and I truly say to you, because he needs either from his family or from people, because he needs intervention. Because right now, what he's going through, at some point in his time, I'll tell you, just as myself. You know how many times, I've gone through difficult times saying, "Oh my God, what? Why did I could have, if I didn't talk about Trump, I could be a billionaire right now. I wouldn't be in prison. I could be, I probably would be chief of staff or something, or in the administration. I would be so close. I'd be the one took Biden down. Mega would have been like, you know how many times I fought with myself going back, especially in solitary confinement. I also spent time in solitary, like Michael. Michael talks about spending 50 days. I spent 3 weeks in solitary confinement. I sat there, laid there, almost going crazy, not knowing, looking at the air 24 hours. I didn't eat for 3 weeks, not 3 days, Michael, 3 weeks. I went on a hunger strike. I mean, there's a lot of things I went through with them over there a while there. And I was arrested. They put me under espionage charges. For the first 2 weeks, I couldn't even see or hear my wife or anybody, the shit that they put me through. So I understand what it's like sitting there and thinking about what, do I go back? And especially after Donald Trump won. I'll be honest with you. I will never lie to you. When Donald Trump won his election, I thought I was going to have a depression. When I was left standing there holding the bag by the Bidens without a pardon, without a commutation, without anything to protect me for everything that I did for them, and then knowing that Donald Trump was going to come after me. Well, what you don't know, folks, literally within a week, I got audited by my probation, and then I had a hearing that they were trying to remand me and put me back to prison. Literally a week after Donald Trump won. That I've been fighting with, and thank God to a great attorney like David Ehrenberg and Abby Lowe and others that helped me, and that I'm still here and I'm able to continue the fight. So I understand Michael's, it's like a drug.
yeah.
Being in a cult, wanting that power, wanting the money, it's like a drug. And right now he's watching, he's seeing all of the people that he's grew up with, all of the people he's known his whole life, all of the people that he sees walking down the street that were nobodies compared to him. Because think about it, he considers him the original OG. He was with Trump for 14 years. He
Hmm.
made it with him and then right when he made it to the White House, he got canned. That's what really is, Michael Cohen can. He really, and I'll tell you a little thing. Me and Michael Cohen spoke about this. Michael Cohen said to me, he goes, Lev, I really want to sit down. I need to ask him. I want to look at him in the face and ask him, why me? Why me? Why did you have to throw me under the bus? This was Michael Cole
Hmm.
early, and I understand. He has his own things, whatever. So he needs help right now. That's why I'm really understanding. Like, and I'm seeing him spiral. I'm seeing him, try to reach out Trump. I'm seeing him do all these things, the assault. But he really needs help because I understand what he's going through because I go through
Hmm.
it a day, just like anybody that's ever been an alcoholic and had to go through AA or has been through drug anonymous and had to go through, or like myself, gamblers anonymous and had to go through GA.
Hmm.
Anybody that goes through any of these programs and knows or had anything understands this is the same thing. To Michael Cohen and to me and to others, this is power. This is something that, for just think about. I'm 54 years old. Out of 54 years, 41 or 42 years of them I spent since the age of 11 since the age of 11, 12. All I've been chasing is money, power, and growing up around people like that. So that's why it's a little difficult. So yes, so if I was still friends or associates, forget about friends. If I still went out to dinner and had associates that went, and I could, I'm in South Florida. I'm in mega country. I'm in where everybody kisses Donald Trump's ass like you can't even imagine. You know, and I could, if if I would, there would no way I would be able to be where I am today with my family. I'd speak to you clearly and continue to fight because I also probably would be complicit. So the number one thing they tell you in AA and GA and all of these programs is you can't you have when you feel that urge, like Michael right now feels the urge he wants to come back, he needs to call somebody like me. And that's why I say, Michael, you could call me about that. I would love to. If you would call me right now, Michael, and I say you honestly with all deep heart and say to me, bro, I need help. I fucked up. I went off the deep end. I didn't know how to handle it. I got that urge again, just like it is. I would be there. I swear to you, I would be there right now. And I'd be the first one to come out here on social media and have your back and say, let's give him back. Let's forgive. Let's move back because we all make mistakes. We all go off the deep end. How many times you alcoholics have, and you have go 3 4 times, and then you have until you happened. So I know I had personal people in my own family deal with stuff like that. So I know what it's like, and this is
Mm.
part of it. So I want to make it very clear, and I want to try to stop with maybe like the cruel attacks because this, yes, we need to make sure we combat the disinformation and we make sure we stay in the Epstein files. And I want to also make it clear, I'm not discounting him from his involvement in the Epstein files to what I'm talking about, because I think part of him coming clean, him coming and getting true to himself and being able to really feel good about himself would be he needs to come clean with everything. You need to have that, like throw, when you're nauseous, you need to throw up to be able to feel good again. And that's
Mhm.
kind of the same thing. Like, so that's what I want to do. And as far as Michael
Yeah, but
Cohen goes,
that's such a nice, that's such a, and you're right. You're right because you're approaching it from a really healthy place, right? Like, hey, listen, this is a sickness for a lot of these people. As much as we write off, members of family and other friends that we have that are down the MAGA rabbit hole, there's a real sickness there, and there's a real, loss for people like you, like Michael, and Michael's a different bird too because I see the frustration. I see him, discombobulated having these conversations with Joy Reid and on the PBB podcast the other day, which was very fucking funny to me. Where there's this you can see the consternation in his face as he's trying to speak to an audience of one to hopefully endear himself back into this individual. But I also see him talking about things and whether or not, and there are lots of people out there like this that are still trying to play both sides because they don't know where they're going to end up tomorrow. They don't know if their opportunity on one side is going to dry up or the other side's going to dry up, right? And that's a legitimate lack of commitment of just doing the right thing. But to your point, there are a lot of really sick people that are involved in this cult still. And there's
yeah,
a couple of like support groups for MAGAs, right? There's support groups
yeah.
for people that were formerly MAGA, helping people get out of MAGA. One guy was on with Kinzinger the other day, and I thought it was really fascinating. He said he kind of only understood that he had been lied to and how mush his brain was when he started talking to people and reading things that he wasn't previously allowed to read or talk to about any of these things. Because the goal is to keep you in isolation, right? It's the same premise behind, religion. There are a lot of religions that'll tell you, listen, do not listen to this kind of music, do not read these books, just read the Bible and listen to Christian music, but don't step outside the sphere of knowledge that we're going to provide you as a cult. And every religion is a cult. I'm sorry, it is. It's all just how they all start. And tax deductible status and membership numbers will dictate that you are or not a cult or possibly a religion. But that's what really MAGA is how do we keep everybody in this fucking bubble? And guys like Michael Cohen are smart enough to know that that bubble also comes with a pretty big fucking upstroke. Tim Pool, Jack Posobiec, Benny Johnson, these guys get paid a lot of money to keep people's brains mush and in that bubble. And for a guy like Michael Cohen, who's watching everybody else but him make money, knowing that, to your point, he was passed over in 2016, it's got to hurt. It's got to
Oh,
fucking hurt.
He's refusing to take accountability for his actions. He doesn't want to live with his consequences. Like Ellie says in the chat, is Michael is the number
Mm,
one person who could blow the Epstein case wide open and be a hero.
yeah.
Yeah,
That's
that's
why
why I
it's
said
important.
absolutely. Well, that's why he has to, and that's why for him to be able to do that, it's like I had a family family individual that was involved with had to take to, AA, and part of it was like you have to admit you have a problem before you could fix
Mm,
it. When people tell you you have a problem and you're like, nah, I'm okay. I could still just have a drink, or I could still like AA is not going to help you. You're not going to come in there and sit down. You're not going to listen. You're not going to talk. For you to be able to understand, to feel, you need to understand. Michael doesn't understand that because Michael, and you could hear it in the interviews. You could hear it because I've been watching his conversation. He's truly hurt by Donald Trump. He misses Donald Trump.
mhm,
Like he
mhm,
has a pain there. Like he wants to sit down with him and ask him, why did you throw? He really wants to tell him. He had to cry out. That interview, that PDA, he was crying out to Trump, telling him, I never wanted to testify against you. I would have never. He literally says there that I would have went to prison for you. Just like Wexelberger, he says that. He says, I would have went for 6 months, 9 months, 3 months. All I needed was you to tell me that you love me, that you gave me some love. Why did you guys drop me? Now
mm,
that's extremely important because he's telling you it's not about prison, it's not about mea culpa. It's not. He has that thing. He talks about Trump right now. If you listen, he calls him boss.
mhm.
He talks about him like boss. He in his letters he writes letters. I watched the letters. I've been watching this transformation. How they hurt the boss. Like what Pam Bondi did, she hurt the boss. What Chrissy Naum she did, they're not listening to the. It's like and the excuses always that Trump was not that bad. So uh, again, without keep talking about Michael Cohen, I
Well,
think.
no, but you're leaning into something that's really important, right? Like that podcast that he was on, he said all of those things. He basically said he never wanted to testify against him, and that
Hmm.
didn't look like the case when he was in front of Congress, selling him out enthusiastically. He's been talking about how he doesn't believe Trump did anything wrong untowards with Epstein and was forced to testify against him by Letitia James, has since walked that back. And he's doing things like putting out this tweet that he put out today, because I'm not speculating, I'm confessing I understand the Trump playbook because I helped draft it. My advice to the universities facing federal funding threats: settle and settle early.
Oh,
In
I
this
heard that
world,
Now
now.
that
That
resistance
is
is a
habitual.
yeah,
That is
but
obeying in
that's
advance.
that is
yeah.
someone who is singing for a hopeful dinner. That is
Well, yeah,
someone
no,
who's still doing their
he's working
work.
hard. No, he's working, and that's why I said I don't want to complain. Me trying, I'm not making excuses for Michael
Yeah.
Cohen. Don't get me wrong. I'm the
No, I
first
know.
one. He calls me the leader of the pack. I'm his enemy number one. He talks about me on the podcast. He doesn't mention my name, but he tells him everybody that I should thank him because he's trying to meet with Trump to get me a pardon alongside him. That's his whole thing. So believe me, I'm not in no way trying to in any way say give Michael
Oh, I
Cohen a
know.
pass for anything he's doing. I do want to say I'm just trying to
You're
analyze.
explaining the impetus, right? You're
Exactly.
explaining it. Yeah, yeah,
I'm
yeah.
explaining why he's doing it. And yes, he is doing the work. And what I'm saying to you is, and like Ellie said, and that's what I'm saying to you is if he would come out, if let's say he had some family intervention, and this is what I'm saying, and if maybe his 70,000 subscribers, instead of going out there, whoever they are, those 5 people, instead of antagonizing him and edging him on, like, oh, let's go get the Wolfpack. Oh yeah, Michael, you're the best. Instead of doing that, if everybody just said, Michael, take a deep breath for a second. We need your help. The country needs your help right now. You
Hmm.
were that guy. You were with him for 14 years. You were with him in all of these situations. And nobody's trying to come after you. We're not trying to catch you in a got you moment. We're not trying to catch you what you might have done. We're willing to even overlook and forgive some of the things you've done because you could be a hero, because you could come and right now help us get this guy and save our democracy. That is what he needs, the conversations that need to be around him right now. So then he could come out and say, you know what? Enough is enough. Just like when I did it. And that's one of the questions we'll get to is enough is enough. And you make a decision and you go all out. And from that point out, you do whatever you can to be able to take that person down, not by going on and giving your opinion for $8 a dollar or 20, not by doing podcasts and doing that and rage baiting and screaming, but actually going meeting with investigators. You don't have to. Michael Cohen knows where Congress is. He knows their phone number. He doesn't have to sit there and wait for a subpoena. He could get in the plane, fly down to Washington D.C., walk into Congressman Raskin's office or Congressman Ro Khanna and say, "Look, I want to give you an affidavit." He doesn't have to say wait for somebody to call him up. He could have his lawyers write an affidavit right now and say, "This is under penalty and perjury of law. This is what happened in the Katie Johnson case. This is who I know. These is the lawyers. This is the case number. This is the what's it called. And I have more. And please, if you want, bring me up." He could do all of that.
Mm-hmm.
So what I'm saying to you is, for him to do that, he needs intervention, because right now he's not thinking straight. Right now he is on the path of talking to Trump. Everything is going directly. He's trying to get back into the good graces. He feels that he has been excommunicated or canceled, as he says it, from the left now. He is starting to use words like the radical left, the radical left. We are all now the radical left, just like MAGA. He is. If you watch his language, is transforming.
Soon he'll say
He
toxic empathy and shit like that.
that's absolutely, and he's already saying it. I'm saying to you, they're trying, going into it. So I'm saying to you, he understands that there's only a certain amount of time until those 70,000 subscribers are going to turn to zero, because or 10,000, whatever the cult will remain, and whatever what I'm saying, because there are some people, but eventually people are going to get tired of and going to go through it. I mean, it's only been a few weeks. Not everybody has listened to all his stuff, and people are not in tune. So he knows it. So that's why right now he's making such a play out to Trump, and is willing to sell himself out completely by going to testify that he was coerced, by going to testify that he's never seen Trump do nothing wrong, and all of that. So what I'm saying
Can
to
I
you
ask you
is
a question?
absolutely,
Can I ask you a
yeah,
question, Levy?
yeah,
This is I find the idea of the projection to an audience of one to be a very serious through line in this conversation, right? And I want to ask you, has he been like trying to get in touch with Trump? And and and
absolutely,
and has he been is that the reason for that podcast where he sewered himself with that PBB
100%.
guy? Like, can you
Yeah.
can you tell me about, because that from what I understand was not recorded recently and was done as an aside to him literally going to Mar-a-Lago or trying to present himself to Trump, and Trump continually shutting that door. Is there anything to
Because
that?
that podcast was also 2 weeks old when, like, you
Yeah,
sent it and I saw the
yeah,
date on it, and it was from
yeah,
two
yeah.
weeks ago.
Yeah. So I'll give you guys a quick background about that podcast, what happened there, and then after that, we'll do is we have a bunch of questions here that we're gonna answer, and we'll
Hmm.
bring up either Ellie or Kate, the Justice, and then we'll go to the next segment. But definitely, let me give you a quick update on what transpired. So if you guys remember at the beginning of the year in January, after that blowout that, I went on where Michael Cohen tried to have my son on, where he on his podcast, Midas, we had that whole thing. Then, we made up, but Michael Cohen, I kept, calling I was on the hunt to figure out what Michael Cohen was about, and if Michael Cohen was really involved in any way in any of this stuff. So just as much as not to catch him, but to clear him also, because remember at that time we also had a show together called Unleashed, me, him, and Malcolm. So I wasn't trying to go after him. I was trying to more or less get to the bottom of it and get to the truth of what was going on. But as that kept going on, Michael's actions, and obviously watching and getting more information, I started understanding more and more that what's happening. Um, I started reaching out to certain sources to be able to find out if Michael has been reaching out and what's going on. I get a call telling me that Michael is reaching out to the what's it called to Trump, and he's down here in Florida actually trying to actually see if he could even set up a meeting. I went live with that, I think, at that time, saying that Michael's trying to get a pardon. He's trying to go it out. At that same time, this is when Ellie's subscriber found that leaked Michael Cohen
Oh, the Rule
and the Epstein,
35 email.
the Rule
Yeah.
35. So I was able to go on with that immediately at the same time. That triggered Michael Cohen because Michael Cohen realized that he's now in the Epstein files. He had to make a quicker push. He came down here. When he came down here, as I told you, this was the same time he wrote the article about Letitia James and Alvin Bragg. That was the
Mm-hmm.
same time he wrote the article. That's the same time Trump responded. So he thought that he had a way to get back. When he got here, he realized Trump didn't want to see him. Trump wasn't having it. He was trying to do this through PVD, through Patrick Ben David, who is not just a right wing, what's it called, social media guy, but he's like Donald Trump. Donald Trump watches that show. Donald Trump's been on that show. This is like going on Sean Hannity. If you want to go like to speak to Donald Trump, you go on these certain podcasts that Donald Trump watches, and what's it called. So Michael
I've
Cohen
never
went in
heard of
there.
him before. Anyway, that's fascinating. Yeah.
Well, right, because you're not mad. This is not something you would watch.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
if you
Yeah. Yeah.
take, even if you take a look at his opening, you see who's on his show: Alex Jones, Charlie Kirk. It's like a very far right. You wouldn't obviously know anything about that. So, long story short, uh, Michael went on that show previously to going on Joy Reid, previously on to finding that lawyer. And if you listen to the interview and you listen to what Michael's saying, he's basically obviously catching himself in all kinds of lies and all kinds of, because later on then all of a sudden he found a lawyer, he went on to Joy Reid, and the show did not work out. He also keeps talking about that he's planning on doing a show about his, Midas touch that dropped him. Well, I'm hearing it might be with this Patrick Ben David guy, this far right guy, where they're going to try to do a show together now also. So Michael is trying to now move his platform over and legitimize himself with the right, because he feels that there's more money on the right. He feels that, if he could, and if this guy, if he could go on there where he's now uncovering and talking about all the things about the radical left, because you got to understand, Michael Cohen has wined himself in the past 8 years to a lot of powerful people here on the left, from a lot of congressmen and congresswomen, a lot of media personality, a lot of pundits, a lot of people. Just, you know what, Michael Cohen is a very minor like situation, like an Epstein. Not, and I'm not comparing like pedophilia and stuff like that. I'm talking about like when you're involved with a toxic person, and all of a sudden they get toxic. People that have associated with you are also starting to try to walk away. But as you can see, a lot of people are just not talking about Michael Cohen. They're trying to let it die out. They're not out there because they were all around him, promoting him, making him this darling, and now they're all shitting bricks. You know why they're all shitting bricks? Because now Michael Cohen is planning on using all this information, this friendly conversations that all of these guys had with them, all these people, all these left wing, and he's gonna go now call you left radical nuts. He's gonna go promote his show on the right. He's gonna call out Hakeem Jeffries and Schumer and all of you. He's gonna turn me into the number one enemy. He's gonna turn, Joey Reid and all of you sold him out, and how the left. And he already, if you go listen to the, because it's important to listen to the whole 2 hours, because you listen to these things. It starts off literally by saying that Midas touch sold you out. And he agrees. He says, they say, because you decided to write an article with your feelings about how you felt that you were pressured,
Oh yeah.
you got canceled by the left, and you got canceled by Midas Touch. And then he continues saying, he goes, it would have never happened on any other platform. That's why we're different than the left. Because on the right, I mean, you just have to watch it. You can't make it up. You
It's
can't make it up.
insane.
And today he went on the show, basically telling his people. Some people went up there saying, "Hey, Michael, but this is what's it called? This is you went on a very far right mega." He's like, "No, I didn't. This is what's it called? It's yes, he's right, but he's not mega right. He's like, more central. It's good to have." And he goes, and this is the lie. This is where it pisses me off. This is where he tells the lie to his people. He goes, just think about it. I went on to the other side to where they have an audience of 12 million people. Listen to what he says, where they have an audience of 12 million people.
Yeah.
And I was trying to bring them back and tell them the truth about
Oh,
Trump.
thank God.
Now, listen. Now, this is the sick part because he understands and he knows that the people watching him are not going to go watch that 2 hour interview. He knows that. So they're going to take his word for it and they're going to say, wow, Michael went on to a right wing show to be able to
What a
promote our,
hero.
to be a hero, to bring out. But if they would watch what he said on that 2 hour show, he starts off by, how the other part beside, he starts off with literally, he goes, if my subscribers would know that I'm doing this show with you, they would all leave me. They would kill me. This is how he starts off the show. He goes, if my subscribers knew I was doing the show with you, they would all unsubscribe.
Total
Good. They
repudiation of
should.
his absolute premise of actually going on the show.
Yeah,
So
like
yeah,
like this is one for me. One of the reasons I talk about Michael Cohen, and I
Fuck.
circumstantially talk about him.
Circumcised?
Yeah, I don't know if he is. He's Jewish. He might be, but I mean, Stephen Miller might be too. But he looks like an uncircumcised penis the way he walks around with his head in that like
Hey,
little
easy on the
tonsure of a hood that could
circumcised
fall out.
penises. As a circumcised man, it's a healthy way to live. Anyway, continue.
Well, unless you're
Continue.
Stephen Miller and then you're just smegma and you're that yeasty
Yeah, he's
substance on
not
the tip
even a
of a gross
penis.
penis. So, like,
all
that's who he
right,
is
right,
as a
right.
person.
All
And
right,
this
all
is
right.
a family show. I won't go into anymore.
Family
They
show,
have micro.
Saturday family show. Thank you, family
They
show.
have
Yeah,
Yeah,
micro
Nick.
energy syndrome,
Yes.
and that's what they give is like that's who Michael Cohen is and who he's proven himself to be. And like that to me, that's why the importance of intelligent masculinity is so needed right now, and why the interviews that I'm going to have with Lev and Dean are going to be really important. Why the one with Zev is going to be really important. Why the ones I've already had are really important, is because this type of behavior can easily be called out and fixed. And that's why the interview with Stephen Hassan, Dr. Stephen Hassan, will be really valuable,
yes,
is
yes,
because what intelligent masculinity is a deconstruction of and an untraining of toxic masculine culture. It is unindoctrinating them from this idea that masculinity is this isolation movement and this individualism movement, because masculinity is communal and masculinity is a way that we protect and defend and provide, and that's a communal thing, not
Do you
rugged
know how much
individualism.
harder? Do you know how much harder it is to do what Lev's doing than do what Michael's
A
doing? Does
lot.
anybody
I love you. Forget
understand
about
that?
that.
Yeah,
I love you. I don't
that's
want
a
you're
real
gonna make me
man. Is
blush.
my
You're
point.
gonna, you're gonna.
Yeah,
All right,
yeah.
I love you. You're gonna make me blush now, Nick.
Good.
Nick, I love you,
Good.
brother. Have a wonderful Valentine's Day, whatever your plans are. Thank you for coming here. Thank you for fighting for
Thanks for
democracy.
having me.
Everybody out there, please, before Nick goes, hit that little Chiron up there. Make sure you subscribe to Nick. Make sure you follow. Make sure you subscribe, comment, because like what Nick said, men's masculinity is extremely, extremely important because we're there to support our women. We're there to support our kids. We're there to support our country. And I think together, we are going to do it. So definitely support, give him a shout out. Nick, thank you, brother, for doing everything you're doing.
Thanks, pal.
Thanks,
Great to
Lev.
see you.
Thanks, Dean.
Take care,
Happy
brother.
Valentine's Day, everyone. Happy Valentine's Day to my wife too.
Take care, brother. Oh, no, I love you. There you go. Nick,
Got
you
to
got to
get
cut
that one
off
in.
because
Yeah,
I
I'll
can't
cut
cut
off.
you off.
Thanks, y'all.
Okay. Thanks,
Thanks,
brother.
dude. Yeah. Thanks.
All
Are
right.
we going to talk to Kate Justice? I do
Yeah,
have a
yeah,
question for you from the peanut
yeah,
gallery here. We have a
yeah,
paid
yeah,
subscriber.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
like
We're gonna
real
go
real
ahead.
quick question. Let's get Kate up here, and while we're doing
What?
that,
Yeah.
or Ellie, whoever you decide, it's your show. It's your coffee, your tea. I'm just
No,
along for a fucking coffee and a tea.
it's our family. We got Kate, we got
So
Ellie. We're gonna do everything. So yeah, I have a bunch of questions. First of all, shout out Lev's Army. Lev's Army is Bill, our volunteer. He's an incredible human being. Works nonstop to be able to help all of us organize and everything. He's Jay's right hand. He's gonna be taking over more of the volunteer work as we move on. And I got a bunch of questions here also. So that while we're waiting for Kate, we're gonna go into. But go ahead, start off with the first one. Let's do a little quick Q&A
yeah, a
while we're
little
waiting forget. Yeah.
Little Q&A. This is from Sarah. Yeah, a bunch of numbers. Let's just say hi, Sarah. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Thanks for your question. Lev, I wanted to know how Alex is doing over in Ukraine. I can't get enough of these videos where you have families smiling, getting warmth and heat and
Oh.
food because of the work you're doing. How is Alex, and how can we contribute to the Ukraine fund? Thought that was a good one.
Oh, that was incredible. God bless you. Alex, I think, might be even here joining us, and maybe we'll bring him up later if he's able to. I know he's tired. He's driving every day nonstop. Thanks to all of you. God bless you, because we've been on a tireless mission every day, delivering the generators to people that need them. And that's why we haven't been able to do that many lives with him, because he's been traveling 200-300 miles a day each way. So in that terrain, and you're talking about 4 hours, 5 hours one way
Hmm.
and back.
Hmm.
So tiring, and then he needs some rest. So, but he's doing great. We have a few generators left that we could be able to purchase. I think so. The GoFundMe, if Bill and if you guys, anybody could put the GoFundMe in there, let our subscribers know. We have a little bit more left. If you can, each generator basically says we actually, if you can, the next generators we're trying to do. Actually, I spoke to Alexander earlier today, and this week we got a call out from. This hospital on the front lines, I think in Harkov, or I'm not sure where. I'll let Alexander give some more information later on. But it's a military hospital where they have injured. They are without electricity, and we are going to be delivering a big generator there. So if you can continue contributing, because we need some bigger generators for some of the shelters, some of the kids' facilities. We have like four that we've isolated, but they run anywhere from 7,000 and up. So they're a lot more expensive. The ones we've been getting are around 3,000, 2,500, depending on the size. I feel like I'm in the generator business. I swear to you, like we're out there, besides this, I'm out there like every day trying to find, and so, and but it is what it is. We're trying to do whatever we can. Kate is not coming up. I'm going to try to get Ellie up there, but yes, continue contributing to the GoFundMe
Hmm.
for Alexander. Where's Ellie? There we go.
Yeah,
Hold
got
on.
another question here for you. It is Ukraine
There.
related,
Go ahead.
and it's in relation to, I don't know if you watched Zelensky fat shame Viktor Orban this morning. I don't know if you saw that. Hi, Hell. Did you see?
Hey,
We'll get to that question another time. We'll go back to the Zelensky fat shaming question. Ellie Leonard, ladies and gentlemen, the panic
Morning. Good
writer.
afternoon.
Hi, hi. You in your PJs
Ellie.
still? You
Yeah, yeah,
cleaning?
yeah.
Are
I'm
you
cleaning my
done?
house. I have
Yeah.
4 sick kids, so we're staying home,
Oh.
cleaning the house. It's okay. It's a nice lazy
Mm,
day.
Well, you know what?
okay.
I'll tell you. Why don't we share our Valentines together? Let me share you, since we got Ellie up here. I'm gonna tell you what my Valentine's like. So
Sure.
me and my wife do our tradition. We try to do Valentine's the day before. So we went out
Yeah,
yesterday a little bit. We did our Valentine's. We had our little dinner special, because today we spend our Valentine's with the kids. So we have a Valentine's kids dinner. So the
yeah,
kids, spend it all together. So that's gonna be our Valentine's later. We're gonna be all spending it with the kids.
yeah. It's
So
ours is a total kid holiday. Like it's like we get red breakfasts and they get their little goodies on the table in the morning, and
right.
then my daughter's birthday is the day before Valentine's, so that's what we do the day before. But it's a total kid holiday for
Yeah,
us.
Mm,
also, my daughter brought me, little Valentine's kisses today. Yeah,
Hmm.
same thing, and I love it. I love. Before we get into a lot of stuff, let me because we have some questions here, and maybe
Okay.
some of them. I'm glad Ellie's here, because some of them are Epstein questions, so we could go into. Let's do a little Q&A, and then we'll get into some more, good stuff, just conversation. So first question. Oh, women's V-neck Wolfpack shirts are a top choice. We will, yes, we make sure women's. We will absolutely, guys. That's it.
Priorities.
We will get them. I promise you, women. Yeah, and I got yours coming, guys. I've ordered them. They told me it's a week. They're so popular that I'm waiting a week. So I got yours, team, coming. But okay, yeah, we will take care of that. Ellie, and this is a good question. Can victims sue for their records? And if so, how and when?
Ooh, that's a good question.
That's
It
a great
depends.
question.
It.
mm,
I mean, I don't know. I'm not a legal mind, but I do know that a lot of the legal stuff they've been completely left out of. And we saw that when they did the sweetheart deal, they were not included when they created the um when they created the plea deal. They didn't even get to be a part of that or know about it. So I know they've sealed off a lot of their own records, like they don't even have access to it. So I think there's a lot of red tape. And I mean, as we saw on Wednesday, people clearly are not prioritizing them. So I don't know.
But that's a
Mm.
great question. What we will do is, and I'm glad you asked that question. So, Bill, if you could put that aside for that question, because we're gonna have Arik Fungali from the Bloom
Yeah.
Group. He was supposed to be up here last week, but because of obviously what was going on, we're gonna have him up sometime this week, and that's a good question for him, and we'll see how we can help.
I got a
Definitely.
question. I got a
Go
question that
ahead.
kind of
Go ahead.
follows up on that.
Go
I
ahead.
don't know if you saw this, but we've got a lot of people asking about Sarah McCune's text today, her tweet. I don't know if you've seen
Oh,
Sarah
I didn't see
McCune's
that.
tweet. She was
I didn't see that.
allegedly a victim. She said, "quote I provided the list. My abusers include, but not limited to, Elon Musk, Prince Andrew, Bill Gates, Alan Dershowitz, Kimball Musk, May Musk, Errol Musk, Ghislaine Maxwell, Thomas Webb, Peter Thiel, Mary Webb, aka Molly Webb, Leslie Wexner, Edward Bancroft Town III, Lauren Gabriel Ashton, aka Base Nectar, and Jules and Bianca. Uh, I- this is the
That's
first.
names coming out.
Yeah, this is the first sort of victim that has put a list of people who allegedly, and I use that word with all due respect, but legally allegedly has named her abusers from the
Mhm.
Epstein files. And I know this is coming out of
I
left field, but a lot of people
no.
are asking about it in the chat. So
Have
do
you
you
posted it? Do you have it posted on your notes or anything like that so I could take a look at
yeah.
it?
Actually, why
uh
don't you send it to Ellie?
yeah,
Because Ellie,
well,
Yeah. Yeah,
since we're
because I
doing
hadn't
this
seen that.
already, I was supposed to give you a call actually while we're doing this. We'll do it live in front of all of us because we're a team. I
you know what, I'm going to send
actually,
this to you right now. Yeah, if you
I
Okay.
got,
can.
I actually got to
Because
send you. Yeah.
no, go ahead, Lev.
While he's doing that, I got some major stuff that a dear friend of mine called that is connected to Michael Wolf. And remind me, we're going to talk about Michael Wolf right now. Major stuff that we're going to talk about Michael Wolf, but also that. Uh, I don't want to say if it's a he or a she. I'm going to say that person because that person's very scared and is what's it called has sent me over some incredible information that literally there was an email in a group between Alan Dershowitz and other people in 2024 where they were paying off somebody $1 million to keep quiet about the Epstein files and about stuff that could be out there. I'm going to send you a lot of the stuff.
Oh, Jesus.
I just got flooded with it last
It's just
night.
gets bigger and
I
bigger.
I did not even get a chance to. It's a
Yeah.
bunch of it, and
Okay.
but this is somebody, and we're gonna talk about Michael Wolf also. But let's first
Okay.
get to the questions because so they don't build up because it is about you guys.
Yeah.
Next question. Next question is for Dean.
Yes.
Dean, everybody wants to know your pea soup recipe.
Can I just say first, while you were doing it, I come from a Norwegian mother who doesn't believe in salt or any spices in particular. It's a thing. She likes bland food, and so we used to like. She'd always go to the bathroom right before dinner, and we'd just like pour a whole bunch of stuff in her food to give it flavor. So like, I'm not. I do like pea soup, but like I've been burned. I've been burned a long time, and so I would like to try your your
Yeah,
version.
yeah. It has to
Yeah,
be
you'll
good.
love it. There it
Yes.
is. There it is. We're still on low. It's simmering right now. You
Yeah.
would love it. I'll bring some to Washington on the
Are you
24th.
coming? You're coming?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I'm coming to Washington.
I will be there.
Now, whether they let me into Washington D.C. is a totally different story. But yes, I am coming to Washington
Okay.
with you and the Wolfpack. I believe that's the first Wolfpack outing, if I'm not
Yeah,
mistaken.
It
yeah,
should
Yeah,
be
yeah,
what
yeah,
I've
we're
yeah,
heard.
yeah, yeah,
Somebody
yeah.
asked me
yeah.
if Michael Cohen was coming, and I was like, I don't think so. That would be
No.
ballsy though, but I don't think so.
Uh, Yeah, I would be surprised. Yeah, but you never know. With him, anything is possible.
Yeah.
Yeah, next question. This is more of a serious question, and I think this is a very good question. Something that we are working on right now. Something that Ellie and Zev broke. The question is, Ellie, more from you because this is up your alley. Can we have more of a push in the Zorro Ranch for searches with cadaver dogs, or
Yeah.
like what I mean, because I
So
think Zorro
Mm.
Ranch, yeah.
I've done a little like side investigating with that. So I actually emailed a local search and rescue. There's a good dog right there. See, we'll use that one.
There you go.
Yeah, there he goes.
I emailed and I said, do you, when you do cadaver dog searches, do you can they be privately hired or do they have to go through like local authorities? Because they're a nonprofit. The actual service is a nonprofit. And I just told them I was doing some writing about it and some researching, but they said that it has to go through a local law enforcement. You cannot privately like raise funds and get permission to do a cadaver dog search. So like hypothetically, if the owner, which we're still trying to figure out who that is, but if the owner of the ranch gave us permission to search it and we did like a fundraiser to hire the dogs to search it, they still have to go through local law enforcement in order to get it approved, which I find interesting because it's a private, it's a
Right.
private property. But yeah, I did check into that because I think ultimately, it's been like what, 30 years. They're not going to find a whole lot of evidence in the house, but the property itself, I mean, it wouldn't hurt to just do that, to do a search on the property with cadaver dogs, but it's huge. It's 8,000 acres. So it would take a very, very long time.
Mm.
Yeah, no, but definitely is something that we're pushing. Something about, just so you guys know, the Zorro Ranch situation is very fluid. Ellie and Zev have a lot of information. It's already in Congress. They are looking into it. We're gonna keep, redacting some of the stuff, and we're gonna push because some of that stuff is extremely beyond disturbing. It's,
Yeah.
you can't get any more serious between conversations of rough sex, people getting killed,
Hmm.
buried. I mean, this is it. So we are going to stay on top of it. Stay tuned, and we're working very closely with the House committee to be able to get them this information.
I've
Let's
got
see.
a I've got a question from Dean
Go ahead. Go.
Blundell for the lead female Wolfpack of the Wolf in the Wolfpack, Ellie Leonard. I just yeah, just a quick question. Um, increasingly we're seeing more, and some people have asked about this, is the murder angle that
Hmm.
that is continually popping up in different threads and emails, whether it's Epstein replying to a female saying, hey, listen, yeah, you'll find it's a lot
Yeah.
harder to murder people than, it's tough. And this woman's
Right.
like, I never thought I'd be able to murder anybody, but I did. And then we're hearing these stories about young girls who were killed, whether they were murdered or whether they were killed incidentally as part of some horrific experience that they were having at the hands of Epstein. What's your take as far as that increasing narrative, and that narrative now being parroted by people like Ted Lieu?
Hmm.
Do you find, because my son asked me this the other day, and then there's like obviously questions of ingestion, like people alleging that people were eating other human beings. I mean,
Yeah.
to me, some stuff is in there that is going to fall by the wayside, but this continually picks
Yeah.
up steam. What's your take on that?
So overall, just I'll start here. We just have to remember that the Epstein files are like a giant steroid version of an FBI tip line. So some of it will be
Mm,
true, some of it will not be true. But we look at everything very objectively and we do our homework and we give everybody the same equal opportunity to investigate something. I haven't heard anything credible about like cannibalism. And I,
mhm,
I question the stuff if Epstein is emailing a woman and the woman is any person who's not an assistant. They're more like a Kathy Rumler or somebody who's in modeling or somebody who he's not necessarily having a relationship with. He will be sarcastic and silly with them and they'll have weird banter.
mhm,
That's not to say that that's not true. I think that should be investigated. But I do think that there is truth to the idea of girls being buried potentially at Zorro because one of the people who visited Zorro a lot was Ehud Barak, who was the prime minister of Israel. And he is the prime minister described in Virginia's book as his kick, his MO is he likes to choke girls out until they pass out. That is his thing. When he's abusing a girl, he likes them to choke until they pass out. He waits for them to come to, and then he does it again, like over and over again. And so if you have these girls who are being abused that way, there is the potential for them not to come to. But also, a lot of the girls that were being taken to the ranch were girls from Eastern Europe that didn't have necessarily
Yeah.
the ID or the
Passports.
social security. You know, they weren't traceable
That's
like an
right.
American child would
Mm,
be.
mhm,
And so if something went wrong, um, nobody's searching for them. And so the idea that there could be witnesses to say that that happened is very credible, which is why they need cadaver dogs to go out on those properties. I have seen some emails that describe making sure people knew how to do CPR and things like that. I don't know if that's connected in any way, but that is not an unfathomable idea that that could happen for sure.
mm,
I
mm,
could tell you, I could tell you just from personal knowledge back in the 90s during somehow these powerful men used to get women. But back then I was maybe young and naive because I was like 18, 19 years old and so like naive,
Mhm.
thinking that they were just bringing their girlfriends over or bringing their, you know
Yeah,
what I'm saying to you
right.
how this was going on. But now looking back to it, one of the ways and they were bringing him over under the radar is back then by flying them on private jets.
Mhm.
See, it's a different system. See, if
Right.
you fly in a private jet and you fly into a place where they don't have customs,
mhm.
you
Which
know,
they did.
you're exactly. You
Yeah.
then you can fly into like your own house, you know, as long as you clear customs
Hmm.
overseas.
Right.
Now I think now it's a lot difficult. I think
Yeah.
now you have
I'm
to
sure pre 9/11 it was probably very different.
it was totally
Yeah.
different. I mean, I remember because one of the things that they used to send a lot of money over. Like one of the things I remember,
Mhm.
like they would send in planes full of money, like 20, 30 millions full of cash, like, you know, in a plane, just, you know, meet them up,
As
come
you
out
do.
in suitcases, as you regular do on a regular day. You know, a typical Saturday, you know,
Yeah, yeah,
Got
yeah.
it.
you say, I pick 20, 30 million up in cash
Yeah.
back in the 90s, you know, but that's how, you know, and
Yeah.
a lot of it would like, you know, there would be, you know, they not only women but men also.
Hmm.
A lot of individuals were transfer, you know, they came here through private jets. And also keep in mind this, you know, I'll give you another little secret. And, you know, you're gonna think it's crazy, but it's true. So back in 1993, I was able to just go get my mother a driver's license. I paid my friend $500 for a real New York State driver's license. My
Hmm.
mother never drove a car. I needed to get her that because to get insurance for
Right.
myself, I needed an older person. My mother didn't even know how to drive, never had a car, never sat behind the wheel, but she had a New York State driver's license. To fast forward it, at that time, the going rate for an official US passport $10,000. So for $10,000
You mean like under the
in
radar? Under the radar.
no,
No, like
official,
legit?
So because they had people in the passport office,
Yeah.
employees that you would go file and at the process where they approve it, because back then it was not as computerized, not as
Hmm.
what's it called. And like on a real official, I mean, you could get a fake passport for a couple of thousand that would probably pass through anywhere,
Hmm.
but I'm talking about a real passport, $10,000. And I know a lot of, you know, not, I don't know, but people bought, put it to you this way, lots
Yeah.
that are
Well, you see,
still, that are
Epstein had
American
like 12
that are
passports. So
that are
Well,
American
I don't
citizens to the
know
day.
anybody who did it, but I heard about it. Yeah, I know people have probably got passports. Yeah, but that underground economy is vibrant and it exists to your point. And
mhm.
back in the day, they didn't have water markings, they didn't
No,
have digital ID, none of that shit. It was just a fucking if
no,
it looked like a passport, it was a
yeah.
passport. And to your point, you know, serving the importance of really wealthy people that the FBI and the CIA absolutely love to use to carry messages and money and different things. It's easy to understand how
So I'll
Jeffrey
get
Epstein would have been able to bring all of these women and young girls
Yeah.
into the country, look the other way, get the stroke from for the CIA while he's working with.
you.
It's so easy,
You
right?
did,
Sorry,
you
go
did,
ahead.
you. I'm sorry to interrupt you, but you didn't even need the CIA. Since we're going doing a little story time, I'll tell you even. So
See.
back then,
With for
back then,
free for us,
for
it's
free.
free for us.
So back then, the way the passports were done, basically, like I saw in a room in Russia, in Moscow, how they would literally take original passports of people that and real live people, and then take your picture. and place it into real passports, American passports, Mexican
Mhm.
passports, Russian passports, Finlandian passports. I mean, you name it, I've seen it. And basically, travel. Put it to you this way: in 1991, I even had traveled a couple of times on some different what's it called, and I tell that's how good these things work. And back then in the United States, you could buy you didn't even have to show ID to get on the airline. See, people don't remember this. Before 9/11, back in the 90s, I
Yeah.
you could buy a ticket with Joe Schmo on it, get and go on the airplane. You didn't have to show ID. You didn't have to do it. You don't even remember it. It's like it was just basically you came with the ticket, you went on, and you got on. It was a totally different system back then.
Yeah.
So there was a lot
Same
of
thing
people
with
just don't
land
remember.
border crossings. I lived in Windsor for a long time and worked in Detroit, and I would literally go back and forth between, Detroit and Windsor with a driver's license, and most of the time they wouldn't even ask me for the fucking driver's license. They just say, "Yeah,
Mhm.
go ahead." And then nine
Yeah.
eleven happened, and it's like, "Hey, we
Oh,
need
that's
to we
it.
need a blood
Yeah.
fucking sample, like all that other
Right.
shit, right?"
Right.
So, yeah,
Right.
to your
So
point, back in the day, you could fucking get away with all kinds of shit cross border,
Yeah.
right?
and that's important because that's when they did all of these crimes that Ellie's talking about that we're seeing in the Epstein files, a lot of the stuff. And then this is
Hmm.
extremely important because I also always mention this. Think about how bad it is, the stuff that we're seeing. Think about what we're not seeing. Think about what was never even reported in the Epstein files. Think
Mhm.
about what the 3.5 million documents they're not releasing. Think about all the things that were scrubbed. Think about the things that were destroyed. Think about all the people that didn't testify or were too scared to come up or didn't have their passports and didn't have the name. Just think about how bad and how much worse it gets, and then understand why this wolf pack is never going to give up. I'm fine going to make sure that there's justice for the survivors and accountability to each and every one of these scumbags out there. But let's go some more questions. Quick, let's go some quicker questions, and then we'll get some. Uh, did I hear is ICE not leaving Minnesota or just going undercover? Uh, ICE is not leaving Minnesota. ICE is yes, the invasion that they say are leaving Minnesota. By that time
Mm.
they leave Minnesota, but they are not
Semantics.
correct. These are all
Yeah.
as I say, watch the action, don't listen to the words. Because so far we've seen they're leaving Minnesota, but then we have Governor Waltz walking out saying we're willing to buy them tickets. Why aren't they gone yet? Like we'll
Mhm.
buy, we'll pack their bags. What's taking them so long? They yes, hopefully we won't see that same invasion type of tactics, but they're not going anywhere. They're actually going in other states, New Hampshire. I'm hearing Wisconsin and other
Hmm.
places where they are, spreading out and continuously going. Next question. Oh, this one is an interesting. I don't know the answer to this. Maybe you heard. Is there anything in the Epstein files that you've heard that has to do with barrels of hydraulic acid?
Yeah. So that
Oh,
can
oh,
be, yeah, that may be actually like legitimate. And it's, I think it's sulfuric acid, I forget, it's like he got like 55 gallons of acid. And the reason probably for that, it's not, I know, like, we've seen a lot of movies about people being dissolved into barrels of acid and things like that, but likely what that was for is because on the island, much of the property was built literally over the ocean. So he had these hatches that went right into the water, which is kind of sketchy. But like he had a lot of like pump houses and things around, and they were so corroded from the salt water that they likely had to use the sulfuric acid, that was like a cleaning agent. I don't know. I mean, there's no documentation to declare that, but it's not unlikely that that's something that he would have used or the property would have used to like clean off these really corroded
right,
appliances around, because it's kind of like when you think of a city being built on stilts over the ocean, like parts of his property were literally built over the water, and it's salt water, so it completely corrodes everything. So that's probably what it's for, but I don't know. I don't know.
great question. Thank you, Ellie. I mean,
Yeah.
is another one. Is Dr. Oz in the Epstein files?
I've heard
Have you
he is.
seen?
I haven't seen it. I get okay.
Yes, he is. He
Is
is. From
he
what I
okay?
understand, let me
I
feed
have
into
to,
this. I'll let
All
you
right,
run
all
with
right,
it. There,
all
well, I
Uncle
right,
have to
all
Wolf.
like
right,
read between the lines
all
because
right.
I have a very near and dear MAGA family member who likes to send me flight logs that she finds that contain like Oprah and Madonna and J Lo, and And I have
Oh
to be like,
yeah, yeah.
so I have to be, when I hear something that I haven't seen, I have to be like, well, I would like to look at that
That's
first.
always
And
my favorite. Like when a MAGA
yeah,
family member, we've all got them, is like, yeah, well, all those people did the other bad stuff too, and you have to
right.
literally remind them all of it's bad. Like
Right. And
you
you
need
just have to,
to.
well, and it's like, it's a list that's literally people nowhere
Yeah.
in the Epstein files. Like, she's like, Stephen Colbert is flying to the island. I'm like, no, he's not flying to the island. Yes, he's in there because Epstein watched a TV show. Like, I always just, I always try to say, just look at it and say, are there people from both sides of the island on these lists? Because
Mm.
that's how it worked. But also, like, if you're looking at flight logs, Trump's admitted flying on his plane various places. So if he's not actually in the list you're giving me, which is, of
Yes.
course, he's not,
Right.
that's probably not an accurate list. I'm like, here's the FAA list from 1993. Why don't you look at that one? That one's fairly accurate, but you know.
Yeah. Awesome. All right, Dr. Oz. Possibly we'll get to it.
Oh
Is
no!
Yeah, yeah,
Sorry.
go for it.
Recap.
Go
Yeah,
ahead.
I was
Yeah,
I
go
was
ahead.
stunned. I was watching Mama Wolf work it there.
Go ahead. Go
Yeah,
ahead,
no.
Dean.
So
Sorry.
Dr. Oz is in the Epstein files, just so
Oh,
everybody
okay.
knows. But much like I found out, a friend of mine. This is a different friend of mine, not a friend anymore. A former son of the Prime Minister of Canada, Ben Mulrooney, is also in the Epstein files.
Whoa.
It's very well. No, he's just like Ben Mulrooney's a very influential figure in Canada. Maybe we should work
Right.
with him. And I'm like, Ben
Yeah.
Mulrooney has never been an influential figure in Canada. He's universally fucking hated. Anyway, long story short, the Oz one is somewhat similar, where Dr. Oz in 2014, I believe, sent Jeffrey Epstein an email to join him and his family at a party. So and this is post conviction for Jeffrey
Mm-hmm.
Epstein. So that's how I judge people. If you send him an email or a note post conviction, you can't claim that you didn't know he was a fucking disgusting pig
Right.
and you're willing to do business with him or have him at your party. So I consider Dr. Oz to be in the Epstein files, but that is the
Well, and
reference to him. Yeah.
two thoughts on that. Like, there's lots of people in the Epstein files who are just in there peripherally. Again, Stephen Colbert is mentioned because like Epstein watched an episode of his show and was talking about it. Like, there's people in there who are just in there and had
Oh yeah,
nothing to
I'm
do
in
with.
there. I'm in there because the Southern District of New York. I almost had a heart attack. So again, is
You're
that?
like,
Oh,
"Ugh."
let me tell you this story. Oh,
Yeah, go for
I gotta show you this story. I gotta show you this story.
Come clean,
So
Lev. Come
I gotta
clean.
I gotta tell you this story. Is this because you're this is a great segment to it. So I go to sleep and then all of a sudden I get a text message from Zev at like 5 o'clock or 4 o'clock in the morning from Zev, and it's a screenshot of document from the Epstein files, and on
Mhm.
that screenshot it says, Epstein, it says Weinstein, and it says Lev Parnas. And it says like, and then like, and I'm like, holy fuck. And this is like, I woke up to go to the bathroom and I see this tweet. So now I can't go to sleep. I'm like, and I'm texting Zev, like, what is
Now
this?
I'm
What?
up.
I understand, like I'm having a heart attack. What is this? What is this? So Zev's not responding to me. So now at like 7 in the morning, I'm already calling my criminal attorney. I'm like,
Mhm.
what the hell is going on? Like I'm calling my son Aaron. Like Aaron's like, Dad, like what are you? I'm like, Aaron, did you just hear I'm in the Epstein? He goes, yeah, I saw you. Yeah, it's an article about because the
Yeah.
Southern District of New York.
Yeah.
There was an art. I'm like, but why am I in there? Like, why is my Cohen's gonna go scream now that I'm in the Epstein files? Like,
Right.
what do you?
Yeah.
He's like, Dad, calm the hell down. Then I call my
Yeah.
attorney's call. He's like, calm down, Lev. You're not in the Epstein. And then
Right.
Zev wakes up. Oh, no big deal. I just wanted to. I'm like,
He like
no
freaked
big
you
deal.
out.
I said,
That's
no big
funny.
deal. I said, I said, I'm sitting here. I just put the whole world on no. I'm like thinking about like, what the hell? Like, I'm
Yeah,
already saying to myself, thinking, did I meet this guy? I'm
there's
thinking,
people
is
in
there
there who
somehow
have
like,
nothing to do with anything. It's a lot of articles. There's so many articles in the
Yeah.
Epstein files that he's kind of like, I don't know if your parents do this, but they just send you articles or send you links with like
yeah.
no conversation in the
Yeah.
emails. He did a lot of that. He was like that generation of like, this was cool, doink. So a lot of people ended up in the files just because they were in an article or they were listed. He also did these weird emails where he would send himself an email of things to remember, and it would just be a long list of names of things he wanted to talk about with Steve Bannon, so people's names would end up in there. But like, back to what you were saying with Dr. Oz, like, because some people go, oh, but how are we supposed to know who has a sex offender registry? We don't Google every single friend we ever meet. And that's true. You know, if a weird guy moves in next door, I always search them. But like, I know that he had a reputation, though. He was well known for the things that he did. It preceded him when he entered the room. Like, he was, you know, everybody, because he was a big shot and because he was wealthy and because he was social, everybody knew the reputation he had with women, even people who weren't like a part of that world with him. So it's not like you just didn't search up his sex offender registry history. It's that everybody knew it about him. Everybody knew that he had that prison sentence and everybody knew that he
Yeah.
had gone through that stuff. So it was less unknown.
Well, and that's really the thing that drives me crazy about everybody that tries to explain away or sanewash any interaction, whether it's Peter Attia or Kimball Musk or Elon Musk or May Musk
Yeah.
or any Peter. I mean anybody that tries to explain this and say, "Well, I met him, I didn't know," right? Well, clearly you fucking knew
People
because it
knew.
was one
People
of the
knew.
most highly
Yeah.
publicized
Yeah.
convictions
Well, he
for
didn't
sex
hide it.
trafficking.
He thought it was funny. Like in his
Yeah.
emails when he's talking about having, bringing somebody over because Woody Allen's going to be having lunch and he's like, come on over, it's going to be a pedo party. Like everybody just thought it was a joke. Like everybody knew about it, everybody laughed about it, and nobody seemed to care.
Yeah, no. Anyway, folks, let's continue. Some more quick
Yeah.
questions, quick round, and then we'll try to. I know a lot of people have plans, and we're gonna let you go. So, is Christy Nome running for president? No, folks, she's not running for president. Let's move on from that one. I
She's
could just
running
tell
away
you,
from going to
she's
fucking
right. Yeah,
Nuremberg.
she's running. Yeah, she's running away from going to prison. That's what she cares about because in prison she can't get her Botox shots, and she won't be able to. Everything will fall apart. Everything will fall apart. So no, she's not. Great question somebody has here about can we discuss the dollars behind incarcerations and the mass detention that's happening? We will go into it, but not today because it's a major. Oh
Oh
yes, go
no,
ahead,
no,
Ellie.
Mama Wolf wants to say something. She's
I
Go ahead,
have an
buzzing.
Mama.
article. I wrote an article
Oh,
before I was
great. Go
ever
ahead.
writing about
Oh, wonderful.
Epstein.
Go
I
ahead,
wrote an
Mama.
article about how much is made off
Yes,
incarceration of
yes,
immigrants and
yes.
how all the prison systems in America are actually run by private entities, and it's an industry. It's not like it's
Well,
not a state agency. It's like a moneymaker. It's very
oh well, yeah.
interesting.
Well,
Yeah.
Mama Wealth, get ready because I got some information for you.
Okay.
We're gonna be talking about this is a major. We're gonna be breaking some news shortly.
Oh, the
No,
$40 billion warehouse detention scam.
oh,
Yeah.
we're going on beyond that. We're going to talk about who's behind it. So I'm going to let you look into Geo. Geo is a
Yes.
private. Okay,
Yep.
Ellie, look into Geo and look who is their lobbyist. It's the Ballard Group, Ballard and
Hmm.
Associates, and look at where Pam Bondi and Susie Wiles came from. And me and you're going to talk offline about that, and we're going to get back to everybody. But
Okay.
definitely,
Yeah.
we're going to discuss the dollars behind the mass incarcerations. There's a lot going on. We're going to do a special. I'm going to do a Substack on it. Ali's going to probably follow up on it.
Yeah.
And
I'll
we're
post
also,
my article.
exactly. And we're also going to do a live about that sometime during the week once we have some more. I'm getting some more from my sources, some more information. And we're going to do it because there's a major dollars that are being right now and around the country by private, these groups that are, being
Mm.
funded and the connections are crazy. It all leads back to Trump world and all leads back to donors. It's incredible. Great question, and we're going to get to it. I didn't even know you had an article on
Yeah,
about.
I wrote a long time
Yeah,
ago.
that's awesome.
I don't
Uh,
like billionaires. Hate them all. I hate all these rich people. So I wrote a lot of articles about them. Anyway, continuing on.
I see it. I see it. Go get 'em, girl. Lots of comments. First of all, God bless each and every one of you. To all the women out there, happy Valentine's Day. Everybody wanted to say a shout out to us, to all the men. No, it is all of our days. So to all of you incredible women, happy Valentine's
Thank you.
Day.
Thank you.
We love you. We appreciate you for all
Happy
you do.
Valentine's, Mama Wolf.
Yeah, and to all the men, happy Valentine's Day. To all of us, to all our families. So yeah, it doesn't matter. I look at Valentine's Day. It's a day of love. It doesn't have to mean you could love yourself. You could love your friend. You could love your kids. You could love.
Right.
Use it as a day of love. It doesn't have to be. Oh, I'm gonna go with my girlfriend or my boyfriend or my significant other. It's not about that. It's a day of love. Use it for that, and the way you
Yeah.
want it, use it for that. Uh,
Mhm.
we are gonna, as far as Dr. Hassan, I will let you know when he's coming up, because definitely I'm gonna have Ellie and Zev and all the crew up when Dr. Hassan is there, because we're gonna talk about this, how the cult environment and Epstein and some of the stuff Epstein was doing behind the scenes when it came to the QAnon, also planting the seeds. I think that's gonna be. I'm gonna put together a major special show about the cult, Dr. Hassan, and all of us talking about how this ties together and all of that. We'll get that to you. Uh oh, a lot of volunteers. I love this, and I think it's a great idea. And my wife will participate. Ellie will get this, Dean. So everybody wants us to do. We're gonna have the volunteers start putting together a Wolfpack cookbook, which each of us are gonna.
Ooh,
We're gonna do. Each of us are gonna do our famous
interesting.
recipe in there. So guys, send in your recipes, and like I said, all of these profits we're gonna figure out that are gonna go to good charities, because the Wolf Pack is not mine, it's not yours, it's not it's all of ours, and it's there. We're gonna use that as a movement to be able to fight for truth for a long time to come. We have started something big. Michael Cohen hasn't even understood what he has begun and he has started here. So we're gonna turn this into something powerful. So yes, give us your ideas. We will put together a cookbook. I think it's a great idea. We're gonna have Dean's, Blundell's, pea soup. Ellie has some incredible,
I make a
Northern
really
Ireland.
great spaghetti and green beans. I posted that
Oh, there you
earlier.
go. There you
I will
go.
eat cheap food till the
There you
day I
go.
die.
There you
Me
go.
too. Me
Yeah,
too.
well, and it's going to be international. It's going to be an international
Yeah.
cookbook from all over. So it's going to be great, and we're going to do it. And you know what? We're going to use that to help the survivors. The cookbook is
Yeah.
definitely, we're going to figure something how to do with that. But that great idea with that. Okay, I think that ends our questions. Unless you guys have any
I don't
questions.
think
And
so.
now,
I don't have any questions. I think we've got
all
a
right.
lot of different people in the chat right now that have said thank you. To your point, for being real men, I can truthfully tell you we're just ham and egging it because we absolutely hate assholes the same way, billionaires the same way, people that get taken advantage of the same way. So my challenge to all the men out there is to give that privilege away today. Give it to somebody that truly needs it. Doesn't matter who it is. If it's a young child that needs your help, if it's a woman that needs your help, if it's a person of color that needs your help, it's another man that needs your help. Give away that privilege to the people
Yeah.
who truly need it. That is why we are here today. And I want to thank Ellie for stopping by for Coffee
Yes,
and
of
Tea with
Ellie.
Lev
course.
and
And
I'm
Dean.
excited
Ellie
to see you guys
Leonard.
in DC. I didn't know that
yeah.
everybody's coming. That's gonna be fun.
See you on the
Yeah, well,
25th,
we're gonna have a
24th.
great time. But before Ellie goes,
Yeah.
I'm sure everybody's already subscribed to her. But if you haven't yet, make sure hit that Chiron right there. Make sure you
Thank
subscribe.
you.
Make sure you become a
Hmm.
paid subscriber. Ellie, she works nonstop, continuously. She has kids, and it's incredible because not only are you supporting her platform, but if you believe in the information that she's putting out there, by becoming a paid subscriber, it allows that the way the algorithm works pushes it out there. So I tell
Hmm.
you, if you believe and you support any one of us, all of us, any one of us, and you can become a paid subscriber if you can. If you can't, don't, no pressure to you. You're still part of the family because, like we say, we have no paywalls. We're here to get you the information. Number one thing, building the community, getting out the information. But life is life. We all have food to kids to feed, bills to pay, rent to pay, and we're doing this 24/7. So if you can, and finding your kindness, support the work, hit that Kyron, support to Ellie. Ellie, we love you, and I'll
Thank
be
you. Love you
speaking to you
guys.
offline. We have a lot to go over.
Bye.
If you could just cook
Bye,
yourself
kiddo.
off, yeah.
See you
Have a good
later,
day,
Mama
guys.
Uh,
Happy
Wolf.
yeah,
Okay,
Valentine's.
you
take
too. You
care,
go and
Ellie.
enjoy. I hope you're
Yeah, that,
treated with respect and dignity and love by all your children today.
Well, we'll see. Happy Valentine's, guys.
See you
take care,
later.
Ellie.
Bye.
Be good. There you go.
That's the great Ellie Leonard, and she's doing incredible work. Some of you guys asked to go over Shalev's diagram that he gave yesterday, folks. I don't have it on me. We're gonna go live with Zev during the week and talk more about the Russian connection and all of that stuff.
If
Oh, go
people
ahead, Dean.
want it, no. And if people want it, what you can do is you can go to
Oh, okay,
deanblundell.substack.com.
perfect.
The
Yeah,
5 stack blog post is there. You can actually go and look at it. The Venn
yeah.
diagram of who's involved in this and who touches who, and the
Incredible.
worst of the worst was truly fucking incredible. So go do
Yeah.
that. You can also go to narrative.org and check it out as well.
Yeah, incredible work by Zev. Shout out to Zev
Hmm.
Shalev, definitely. And if you go on the Dean Blundell show. But as I promised you guys, it's that time. It's the end of the show. It's I hope you guys enjoyed the 2 hours flies really quickly. And we I hope you got some information. I hope we got to be able to share some stuff to you. But towards the end, like I promised you, we have a special guest, someone here that wants to share some positive energy with you and put you on the right mood for Valentine's Day and put you on the right head. And I hopefully you guys could start off today. There she is. There's there's my sister. There's
Happy
Ludmilla.
birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
this sounds like
Happy
Marilyn Monroe now. Look at this.
birthday, my dear. Happy the healthy birthday to you. And many
Oh,
more.
thank you. I hope I have many too. It was Lev's birthday this week. Did you sing for him too,
Of
Ludmilla?
course,
I
of
sing
course.
for him. I dance for him. I talk to him. I love him.
Thank you, my love. Can
Uh,
you
To
can you give us some positive things to chew on for the rest of the weekend, my dear?
It's a beautiful job, and I'm happy to be able to do it.
Hmm.
Today, we celebrate love. So, let me give you a few words that actually express love. Love is the essence of life. Everything meaningful in life is rooted in love.
mm,
Your desire to grow equals to love. Your desire to heal equals to love. Your desire to create equals to love. Your desire to connect equals to love. Without love, we survive. With love, we live. Love is the light behind your eyes. Love is the warmth in your voice. Love is the reason your heart continues to beat. This is, I say with a certainty,
mm,
love is not a part of life. Love is life. And
Hmm.
let's celebrate because life is beautiful and we are blessed.
wow, 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 wow. That is incredible. And just to touch on that, and some because I don't know how you could even
Hmm.
add to it, but because your message is about love, I want to also say that what Bad Bunny said, love conquers
Anchors
hate.
hate.
And
Hmm.
we all are Americans. We all are human beings. We all are Canadian.
Amen.
We all are human beings to begin with. So love conquers hate. Ludmila, those words were incredible to us. Thank you so much.
Thank you, my
I
dear.
I
Uh,
I love you guys so much.
we love
And I,
you.
and I would like to share something with you.
Please go ahead.
If you would like to get some knowledge, some experience, some uh, sense of understanding, please join my club, Center of the Positive Energy, and you'll be able
Absolutely.
to find a wonderful letter, a wonderful note that I promise you will open your eyes to the most beautiful things that surround you, where you can able to feel it, to understand it, and to receive.
Absolutely,
Hmm.
absolutely. I mean, listen, folks. I mean, that goes without saying. Hit that
The Center
Chiron
for
up there,
Positive Affirmation.
and
There
I
you
mean,
go.
yeah.
I
If
love you
your
guys.
emails, I'm bombarded every single day with so much hate,
So much
with so
positivity.
so so much anger, so much the world coming to an end. that if you want a little positivity, something to counterbalance all of that craziness that we deal with every day, because we need that stability in our life. I could promise you that, because this is my positive energy that you see live with you here, that I'm sharing with you. So I definitely hit that Chiron, subscribe. Like I said,
Thank you.
subscribe. And if you can, become a paid subscriber, because, like I said, all
Thank you.
this
I
independent
appreciate it.
journalism, trust me when I tell you, getting that every day a message of that positive, that love, that giving you that hope of paying it forward means a lot. Try it,
Mm.
work it. If it doesn't work, give it up. But I promise
Well,
you,
so here's the thing.
you'll see,
Here's the
you'll
thing.
see,
It
you'll see it.
works. It
It
works
works,
all the
yeah. Oh,
time.
I know it
And
works.
I'm gonna give everybody some free counseling that I paid hundreds of thousands of dollars for. And I'm gonna summarize it into a really quick statement. What you put in the world is what you become. What you think is who you are. You
Amen.
are a collection of
Thoughts
your thoughts.
become things.
Thank you. Now, if
Thoughts
you
God,
want
become
good
things.
things in your life, subscribe to the Center for Positive Energy, Ludmila
Thank
Piker, right here. Hit the Chiron and put more positivity in your life and put more positivity
you.
in the
Wow.
world. That is the solution to living. And
Wow.
you're
yes,
right. Love is the opposite of hate, but it's also the opposite of fear. You don't have to
yeah,
be afraid when you put good things in. You can enjoy those good things you put in your mind. And if you do it because you want to get better and be kinder to the people around you, hey, listen, you're not a libtard. What you are is someone who loves your community, and you're creating your
amen.
karma by
Ouch.
putting these
Ouch.
things out there. So make sure you do that and give this young, beautiful lady a follow. She's part of our
Lev,
family.
Amen.
can I ask you a favor? Can
Sure.
I join your wonderful Wolfpack
Oh
community?
yes, you're in the
Because
Wolfpack. I got you. I ordered you a T-shirt. They told me it's a week coming late.
I
I got you.
think
I got
it's
you a
I
T-shirt
think it's
coming.
an honor,
Absolutely.
honor. So anybody who believed in truth, anybody who believes in whatever you hear today, in Lev
Love?
members, the Dean, and all the wealth packs, guys, just join the community and let's have a movement for truth, for love, and for happiness.
There
Great,
you
Bye.
go.
Luda.
God
Have
bless
an
you, Levy.
incredible Valentine's Day, Luda. We
Happy
love
Thank you.
you.
Valentine's.
Happy
Thank you.
Valentine's Day, Luda.
God,
You,
God
you gotta
bless you.
press the X. Press the
Yeah.
X. There
That's
you
the X.
I don't, Dean, because the way the Substack is, it's all messed up, guys. I know. I can't control it. Like you can't. What? So it's scary. We could bring somebody up, and then if they don't want to leave, we can never let them leave. You
I
can't
think, you know how many
control
different Substack
it.
lives I've had where I'm like, okay, see you later. And they're like, okay. And they're like,
Hi. I'm like, okay, President. Well, I'm not gonna go. Oh my
listen,
God.
dude, thank you. This was a
Thank
fucking
you.
epic coffee and tea. Doing this on
Incredible.
Saturdays is
Yeah.
at my absolute pleasure. We get to chill out. We get to have conversations. We get to ask questions. But more importantly, we get to be normal with normal people and talk about normal things and advocating for the right thing. Ladies and gentlemen, this resistance, this Wolfpack, call it what you
Yeah.
will, is just here for
Yeah.
one reason only, for the truth, for transparency, for Americans, for patriots, for humanity. And if you can bring yourself to subscribe, you can hit that Chiron at the top. Follow my very good friend Lev Parnas. There's a reason he is a not just a thought leader, but a moral leader and a character leader and part of this movement. Lev Parnas is not just an American hero; he is my friend, and I trust him implicitly with my life, my money, and my wife. So what you need to do is hammer that Chiron at the top. Follow Lev Parnas. Lev remembers right now. Give him a paid sub. It gets to the top of the algorithm. And if you got a minute, you got some time, deanblundell.substack.com. Your support for every single person that we've had on this, and that we have in our universe, this Wolfpack, this resistance, enables us to continually go forward for you and with you. And I want to thank everybody for that today. These subscribers, this community, this resistance, this Wolfpack that's continued to grow from a pejorative into a positive, where we want to be change agents. You make that all possible. So thank you all for being here today on behalf of
Amen.
my friend Lev, on behalf of the resistance and good people who want good things for America. And we want our friends back. Keep going. Don't stop, and stay close to the people that you trust. And that is one of them right there, levremembers.com. And thanks for doing this today, brother. Always great to see you.
Brother, I love you, and definitely thanks for coming up. And make sure everybody. By the way, Dean is promotes everybody but himself. He has a special today, Valentine special, folks. Make sure today go get because not only is Dean one of the most incredible individuals out there that tries to support, help promote other platforms, has incredible sources. You forget sometimes because he talks about everybody else, but Dean has some incredible sources of his own in Canada, all over the world, and he's doing some things behind the world that you can't even believe. So make sure you hit that Chiron. Everybody that's been on the show, Ellie, Leonard, Nick Paro, Kate Justice, we couldn't get her on for some reason, but next time make sure Kate, Zev wasn't here, Ludmila, positive center of positive energy. All of this is our community. And if you can, go to loveremembers.com. Oh, A. Lauren is asking about Starlink. I know we had a question. Do you know anything about Starlink, Dean, before we
Starlink
go?
was shut off in Russia. They were scrambling, trying to, yeah, in Ukraine for Russia. Starlink has been shut off. And Starlink has also been banned in Canada. We just did that this last week, as a matter of
Wow.
fact. So,
So
yeah.
maybe Dean, you could write a letter to the folks if you
Yeah,
want about
I will.
Starlink because
Yeah, I've
Dean
got
will put.
actually a real piece on the Epsteins coming up, including Kimball,
Oh, okay.
Kimball Musk, and his relationship
Wow.
with Jeffrey, which looked
Beautiful.
quite romantic, as a matter of fact. It's very odd,
Beautiful.
very
Yeah.
odd.
So
So we'll
for
get to that too.
for all of you, for when you get when you have time today, you're gonna have some interesting reading because as Dean put out the Epstein Files, I have a very important. I'm just finishing up with later today coming out about Michael Wolf and what the con that Michael Wolf has performed over everybody and what's really going on with the case.
Mhm.
What really could happen, what's happening with Melania and all of that. Very important. So it's not just there's a lot of people that need to come clean, and we're going to hold them to accountability. So, folks, the two things I do want to warn you because, and I hate to say it, but just because my wife warned me because we have limited edition and there's so much demand, and I'm not in the business of making this, so I'm trying to keep up, and I want to make sure everybody gets it. So, the Wolfpack, they're already on back orders. So as of while we're speaking, people are getting them. My wife just told me. So make sure go out there. I'm going to make a call to make sure we get more out there. But I love you. Keep going. Get your Wolfpack gear. We're going to get a Wolfpack cookbook, hats, different type of. We have our some of our incredible volunteers making up some more designs, and we're going to get do more stuff. But we're going to only grow and make that movement bigger. You are the original OGs. So the t-shirt stuff you're gonna get right now are probably gonna change over time, and you're gonna get some stuff that's gonna, part of not just being a part of history, but you're actually making history because this is a movement that is going to fight for a long time. And also a quick personal just note, I know a lot of you might have not known, but I have cut all ties with Amazon. My book is no longer going to be on Amazon. I'm not going to support Bezos and him kneeling to Trump. So because of that, we're gonna have a little delay of getting until I find a new printer to get the books, which will be a little bit. But right now we have about 200 books left. I bought them all out of Amazon, so this way I'm done with them. I got them; they just came in. We have some hardcover, some soft cover. I know a lot of you are going to get yours that you've ordered, but once these are gone, there might be a little delay. We are going to get them. Might be a little delay. So just because no more Amazon, so folks,
Good.
get them as quick. Yeah, and then we'll get a new distributor. So I think that's about it. Wish everybody an incredible happy Valentine's for whatever you're doing. Enjoy it. The number one thing, Valentine's is about love. Know that we love you. You are loved. This is a family, and this is more than just a community. Dean, go enjoy your soup.
Love
I
you,
can't wait
pal.
to hear
I'll let
that.
you know
Love
how
you
it
guys.
tastes.
Absolutely. I'm gonna go to my family right now. We're gonna enjoy our Valentine's
Have a
Day.
great
Take
day,
care,
buddy.
guys. Take care.
Take
Bye.
care, everybody. Bye now.